show for the.
All right, everyone. So we got a new segment / show going on here, Frank About Sports. Let's talk sports, as we're going to be doing a watch along with the New York Knicks and Boston Celtics game. But there's a lot of stuff going on all around sports. Obviously, the Mets president of baseball operations search / GM search / manager search is still ongoing. A lot of different rumors, a lot of different reports. So we could talk about that. We could talk about the Yankees bringing back Aaron Boone on a 3-year deal. Obviously, there's plenty going on with the NFL. Sam Darnold's going to be facing the Giants on Sunday. So we got a lot of stuff going on. And we can have you guys join in. And whatever you want to talk about sports related, this is the place to do it. Gio, let's go Mets. Let's go Knicks. Knicks in 1. Yes, because basketball is not like baseball played in series. It is one team at a time. Let's go Knicks, baby. All right, so we're ready to go here. But, of course, since it's ESPN, we got to take our time. A 7:30 game is really a 7:50 game. So we have to do a lot of, other pre-production stuff to make sure that we make this game go on all night, because that's what the people want to see. But we do have a Mets fan with us already. We have Mets Talk with Hayden. So how are you guys doing? As you know what, there's no Mets going on. We also have playoff baseball if you guys want to talk about Astros, Red Sox. We also have Dodgers, Braves in a little bit. So a lot of good stuff going on. Howdy, Christopher T. Oh, Clam Chowder, Celtics. Oh, you like all of Boston, so that makes sense. We get Mike Breen, the GOAT. So how about that?
Here, if you wanna pin this here.
Oh, you have a comment that we can pin? There we go. All right.
I just
off the pin.
So yeah, that was.
If you want to pin this.
This way, you guys could ask whatever questions you want to, and you could join in and talk sports. Have a few minutes for the stage, and we'll just go from there. So definitely a lot of exciting stuff going on. I mean, this is a big time in sports now. You have everything going. You have hockey, like all the sports going on right now. October is a crazy month. So that's what we do on Frank About Sports. We're going to talk about all sports. That is what I want to do with the channel. It's what I want to do in the future. Hey, Martin, how's it going? So, Hayden, what have you thought about the Mets since we have you on here? What do you think about this whole search, the president search, the GM search, the manager search, all these different reports coming out? No one wants to work for Sandy Alderson. What do you think?
It's been tough. It's been long and tough, and I think that's expected. A lot of people are, kind of getting a little agitated, and they want, I guess, a GM and a president of baseball operations like today, tomorrow. And listen, it's great and all, I understand, you want to get all that out of the way, once the World Series is kind of wrapping up, because then that's when really the offseason starts. But, the Mets, we can't forget that we've had 2 GMs in back-to-back years, and they didn't turn out so good. We rushed both of them in. And, I mean, look what happened. I mean, can we say that we knew that was going to happen? Absolutely not. But you know what? Stuff like this, GM, president of baseball operations, I want to take time and be cognizant of this. I want to find the right guy. I'm tired of getting another temporary guy. And some people, on the other hand, someone mentioned, was talking with me before, and they stated that, just let Sandy continue the offseason and we could throw someone in. My only issue with that is I'm not necessarily sure what the new GM or the new president of baseball operations would think of those new acquisitions, whether that is to be a Carlos Correa or someone more minor like a bullpen arm. Still, I'm not sure how they're going to feel about that. So obviously, I want to take this slow and steady. In terms of it, I did upload a video in regards to Josh Burns, if you guys would like to check that out. Definitely is probably my top pick as of right now. Very fascinating guy. I won't spoil it too much, but he is my number 1 pick at this moment. I know I did discuss it on Mets Weekly. Personally, I did some more research. I know I stated a GM was a possibility, but I'm more leaning in favor of the president of operations role for him right now. But listen, it's great if a president of baseball operations knows so much about the day-to-day activity as well as the executive part. It really goes hand in hand. So, yeah, honestly, I mean, baseball and the Mets have been wrapping up. So, I mean, football's here. I'm not a Jets, Giants, or Bills fan. I'm a Broncos fan, which is, I don't know how that's been. But, yeah, it's really all I got.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's a big thing. Like you were saying, before you even get the offseason started, you want to get the person you know is going to be for the future in charge, because you don't have Sandy make all these moves and then
Randall,
the next person comes in and doesn't want these guys. Because we did the whole, oh, it's a Brody guy. You don't want this next president of baseball ops saying, oh, it's a Sandy guy. As we have Kemba Walker, making his debut in Madison Square Garden, up against his former team, slicing and dicing, cooking, getting fouled, getting buckets. Julius Randle hitting threes. Knicks up 5-0 early, and the Mets also need a manager. So, now, Mets fan, how are you feeling? Knicks, Mets, football. I mean, what's been on your mind?
I just want some happiness.
Good.
So I'm rooting for the Knicks right now, and I'm just waiting for whatever Mets news to come out of DeComo tweets or whatever. And I've just been, oh my God, Tatum. I don't know if is Julius Randle good? Yeah.
He's pretty good. Not the best in the league, but he's pretty good.
No.
He's a solid player.
He isn't Giannis, but
he's nobody's Giannis. Yeah.
Yo, can I say
He's in
something?
the
I'm not going to be on here long. I just need to say something. Can we please fire Sandy Alderson?
Yeah, I mean, that looks like
who's there to fire him? Just Steve. Steve's not going to.
Steve can do it. Anybody. I'll do it.
I doubt Steve's going to do it, though.
But then we have no offseason because then we have no GM. And I mean, hey,
I'd take no GM over Sandy Alderfraud.
You want Steve Cohen doing everything?
No, I'm just kidding. No.
Or you want Sandy's son taking over, Brian Alderson?
He might be better.
No, I mean, it looks like that's one of the issues they're having right now is that, between Sandy and Brian, the next guy doesn't really feel like they have too much power. They feel like they're still kind of, taking over, still working under Sandy. It's not, they're not really the president.
You can have like your family or like your kid like take over for you if you've like had a shit ton of success. Like Bill Belichick's son can take over and whatnot. But like Sandy Alderson has not done enough to have a whole Sandy Alderson dynasty in the Mets organization.
Randall cannot miss right now, by the way.
And Jason Tatum can as he misses the technical free throw. Oh my goodness, what is going on there? All righty.
Who got a tech?
I probably on one of the Knicks. I mean, I'd imagine.
If Tibbs got a tech, that would have been hilarious.
In an 8-0 game. I mean, that'd be typical Tibbs, so to speak. But yeah, I definitely think the Mets have to consider that. Like the Mets are going to have to consider if nobody's coming because of Sandy Alderson, then they have no choice but to get rid of him. And Sandy's not going to be here that much longer anyway. So if that helps in getting the guy you want to, make this organization a sustained winner, a guy that's going to be here for a long time, that might be the decision they have to make. But they still have to wait until the Dodgers are eliminated. I think once they get to potentially interview Burns or Gomes and then go from there. If those guys get rejected and they don't want the job, then the Mets really got to do some digging. We saw a guy from the Rays name pop up today. Listen, the way I joke about it, I take the Rays janitor. So any guy that's a front office guy in Tampa Bay, good for me. I mean, they've just been so successful. Yeah. And one of their guys from their organization, Klein Bloom, the Mets could have got, but they took Brody Van Wagenen, has gone to the Boston Red Sox, and Boston's had a really good year. I know they lost last night. And
that is true, but like at the formula that Bloom went with, DeGrom would probably be in Houston right now. So
they had to trade Betts because the luxury tax. He didn't want to trade Betts.
Well, they also had the contract disputes, and you know how the Wilpons wanted to stay under that luxury tax, like $100 million under the luxury tax. So
yeah, Ham would be perfect then. Get a guy who knows how to spend not too much money. But I have a question for you guys: are there any acting like major league owners who run the team like from a personnel standpoint? Like I know in the NFL, there's like 3 guys who do it. Like there's Jerry Jones, the dude from the Bengals, and like Shad Khan, I think. Yeah. They like pick the players and whatnot. Which
I don't think there is. I really think
it's a recipe for disaster. So thank
you. I know a head coach that was pretty much running the show, running a football team that just got fired recently. So.
I mean, like if you look at the NFL, I mean, you always see these guys like Robert Kraft literally sitting inside the stadium watching the game. I mean, you don't see that from Major League Baseball, the owner for the team, in the ballpark watching it.
Oh, is that his mom?
I like this question right here. Who are y'all going for, Braves or Dodgers?
Dodgers all the way.
Neither. I'm rooting for the Braves. The sooner we get the series over, the sooner we get Josh Burns. We get access to him.
I'm gonna go with my dad's old joke. I'm just rooting for a rain delay. I can't stand.
Bro,
either
I haven't
team.
even been
Like, I just
watching
can't.
yet, to be honest. Like, I'm not the biggest guy to like. I like playoff baseball, but not the biggest guy to watch
Fournier,
a
what are
team
you
that's not
doing?
mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I'll still watch I'll obviously watch
Also,
the World
another
Series
former
every year.
Celtic. So you got the former Celtic backcourt, Kemba and Fournier, trying to stick it to their old team. But Boston's heating up now. They show right now. Started 0-3, now 4-4. I mean, listen, if the Dodgers, let's say the Dodgers win the series and they lose the World Series and win the World Series, the Mets could still get a front office guy. So, I mean, do you really want to risk but see the Braves win a World Series with no Acuna?
That was my original season prediction, so it'd make me right.
Freddie Freeman.
And I said Bryce Harper for MVP, so
which
that's probably
is
gonna
very
happen.
well could happen. Yep,
And I said Mike Trout for MVP, so I got the right team. No, but I got the right team.
Yeah.
So close enough. I also said James McCann for Silver Slugger, so we all got shit wrong. So yeah.
I think I picked Judge. Did I pick Judge?
And
I may have picked
he's probably gonna finish top.
I think
top
I
10 at least.
He will,
Five.
yeah.
Trout and Soto.
Fournier, there you go. Make up for that shit.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what he is. He's a 3-point shooter. Something the Knicks really need. Yeah, exactly. We can't root for the Braves. And if you're a Met fan, you can't root for the Braves. Just look at Ron Darling last night. I can't believe that. He just yelled yes when Bellinger did that game-tying home run.
They just piss me off. Like, no, I'm like, I have like a lot of respect for that organization. Like, their trade deadline was fucking immaculate. Like John Boy Media had a Talking Baseball had a segment about like they literally got Eddie Rosario for Pablo Sandoval, and look what it's done for them. They're like, our outfield sucks. Let's get not 3 outfield, let's get 4 outfield, which is kind of an approach I hope the Mets go this year, is like just get a shit ton of good players and find out who plays, figure out how to play them after they're in the building. I feel like a lot of teams are kind of moving that direction. Like, we can't just say, oh, can't get a third baseman, we have Mark Vientos, or can't get a catcher, we got Francisco out, like from a prospect standpoint, but also like, oh, can't get a center fielder, Nima, guys like that, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of hope the Mets kind of go with that route this year. I'm honestly more of a quantity over quality this year, just because like you see a lot of these great teams, they just have a bunch of quality good players instead of going in all in for that one top guy. Like, when is signing the one big guy ever a ticket for success? You know what I mean? I mean, like Mookie Betts, obviously for the Dodgers, but you could argue whether that was a legitimate title or not.
Yeah, well, I think you're right, because even though Baez played well, that's only one guy. But if you have 4 guys playing well, not a single one of them played as well as Baez, but the sum of all 4 of them just did so much for Atlanta that, I mean, look where they are right now. Eddie Rosario has turned into a big time player for them at the top of the order. The guy got non-tendered by Cleveland at the beginning of the year. Adam Duvall was non-tendered by the Braves, went to the Marlins, did great. Braves get him back. Jorge Soler, I mean, Kansas City's been struggling. It's like, let's pick him up. And Jock Pearson, another guy that was a non-tender candidate. And they're just putting them in the right scenarios, like Jock Pearson against righties. Jorge Soler, like, you're going to bat like in Jorge Soler's had COVID, so he hasn't played lately. But when he was playing,
he was good,
at the end of the season, like, everyone was performing because they were put in the right situations, which is something that Rojas never did. He never put these guys in position to succeed. It was just like, oh, lefty-righty matchup. Like, they know what they're doing in Atlanta, and I do think that might be the approach to take, especially if, like, you look at the Carrasco injury, the priority of keeping Stroman increased, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think that
100%.
See what happened with Carrasco. I think Walker could get hurt at any moment. I pray he doesn't, but knowing Taiwan Walker's injury history, at any moment, any day, Taiwan Walker could have a serious injury.
He stayed relatively healthy last year, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so like if you end up spending a lot of money to keep Stroman, and if you really want to keep Baez, you're spending a lot of money there. All of a sudden now the Carlos Correa, the Nick Castellanos, the big names people throw out there, they're unrealistic. So if you get a bunch of pretty good players to sprinkle in all
Starling Martes, Mark Canna's of the world, guys like that.
Mark Canna, a guy's utility. Adoro Escobar, which he's going to cost, but he's really high on my list.
He'd be good,
But if you get guys like that, all of a sudden now the Mets can fill in for all the different things that are going to happen in the 162-game season. I mean, if COVID's still a thing, if there's rainouts, the Mets have injuries, the Mets suck. Like all the different things that happen during a year, you have so many different guys you could throw out there. All of a sudden, this guy's not as good a year as he did last year. So now I could go to somebody else, because the Mets really put so much stock into the 2020 season. They said, okay, Conforto's doing really good. Dom Smith's doing really good. McNeil's doing really good. These
no
guys
competition at all.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, these guys are going to do good next year. That didn't happen. All of them had a down year. So it's like the Mets had no alternative. It's like, oh, well, I hope all of a sudden they figure it out because we have nobody else we can go to.
Dude, we need to make sure like our AAA team is like stacked this year. Like you look at the best teams, they're like, I know it's a funny thing to say, but like the Durham Bulls, I think that's what the Rays team is. They're freaking good. At least what I've heard.
No, they
and
used
like,
a ton of players this year, and so many of them performed in a positive manner.
And that's what I want to see is I really want to start seeing a full rotation set in AAA, AA next up, where they could be called up in a week and they'll be able to. Like I at least
and real players, no
guys that could actually come up and pitch for this Mets team for a week or a month in the scenario something happens, because it comes to the point where I am extremely tired of hearing the same nonsense about our pitching staff. Oh, we're one of the best when healthy. If I had $1 every time I heard someone say, we have the best pitching staff when healthy, I'm tired of hearing when healthy. Get it healthy.
Yeah, and getting the actual AAA players, like no more Wilfredo Tovar and Jake Hagar and Mason Williams and all these bums.
Hey, Jake Hagar's not.
Yeah,
Jake Hagar's
you were
nice,
hyping him like the fuck up earlier this year. I do not understand why he's trash. He is straight trash. He belongs on the Vegas Raiders. God. He's trash.
You know, hey, 4-2 now. All right, tied for first. Okay.
All right, guys. I'm gonna head out here. I'm actually going to birthday dinner tonight, so that should be fun.
Is it your birthday?
Yep.
Oh my gosh! Happy birthday, Elias!
Nobody
told me. I mean,
he said that. He said that yesterday, and I completely forgot. Happy birthday, Elias!
Appreciate it. Yeah, 18, we're
happy
officially
birthdays
all
in the chat for Elias as well.
Yeah, the youngest guy in the group.
Oh yeah, happy birthday!
Appreciate that, guys. So let's get some happy birthdays in the chat. Am I right? Thanks, guys. Elias is an adult. Congrats. You know it. I changed my Instagram everything to 2003 today instead of like 1995. I can vote now.
Nice.
I can buy some crypto. You know what I'm saying?
Big
Apple crypto banter coming soon.
Ooh, like it.
God. Yeah, there we go.
Mets weekly coin coming out soon, guys. It's not financial.
Oh yeah, the merch. Yeah, we got a lot of merch.
Yeah.
Right, Mets fans. We got a lot.
Could you imagine? Oh my God.
Well, enjoy at least. Happy birthday. Oh my goodness.
Appreciate it, man. All right, I'm gonna take off now, but you guys have a good night. Take care.
All right.
Enjoy your day, Elias.
I just refreshed my screen on the stream I'm using, and literally I didn't realize the sound was on, so it literally just blasted into my ear and scared the living shit.
Yeah, he made a
Schroeder.
Face. I was like, I don't see anything crazy happening in the game. Yeah, well, look at
Schroeder's on the
happy
Celtics.
birthday. Good for the young fella. Very good. And RJ Barrett pulling up for 3. No good. All right, well, Celtics are now in front now. A bit of a high-scoring first quarter. I mean, for the first game of the season for both these two teams, you think maybe a little rust, having some struggle to have shots fall, but no, I mean, both these teams are going back and forth. It's exciting.
Oh, Mitch, let's go.
There we go.
Oh, my God.
14, I love sports. Yeah, well, a lot of us do like the sports. All right, so I guess we could have our first call in from, this person. Who are you? What do you want?
Hey, what's up?
say your piece and move on.
I don't know. I don't have much to say.
Okay.
Are the Knicks good? Are
the Knicks good? They'll be in the playoffs.
Hope so.
They're not going to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see about that. No,
we'll see.
Yeah.
I honestly about like Billy Bean. I mean, I at this point, like, he wasn't my first choice, but like I was okay with him. But I mean, I think Burns is the guy. That's why I want the Braves to win. I mean, at this point, like, if the Braves just win, good for them. I mean, it's not like the Phillies where it's like I want half those players to get injured or something. So, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you see a rival win, like with the injury they had, and they were talking about it, that the Mets had that series in Atlanta where the Mets were up right before the deadline. Braves win that series at 5-game set, and then they make the first move they made was Jock. They got Jock Pearson before the deadline. Then on deadline day, that was when they made a lot of moves. But they just felt like the Mets kind of let them back in the race. So it is tough because the same thing happened when the Nationals won. As a wild card team, the Mets were trying to fight for the wild card that whole second half of the season, and like the whole like that could have been us mantra. And my counter is that look how well the Braves pitching has performed up to this point. You look at the way Max Fried stepped up again. He was really good last postseason. He's doing it again. Ian Anderson has some good outs. Charlie Morton's been really good in the postseason again. So it's like the Mets pitching was not doing that on a daily basis to where they could have been the Braves, been where the Braves are, because the Mets pitching wasn't that good every single day.
Like, of course, I mean, there was, you're right. I mean, there was a stretch, but like the Braves did it when it mattered. That's what's most important.
Yeah, exactly. They got off to a really slow start, and the Mets were lucky that, everyone talks about, the Mets were in first place for over 100 days, things like that. The Mets were in first place because the other teams were just playing bad. I mean, there was a big stretch of the season where the other teams in the division were under 500, so by default, the Mets were above
pitching
500.
kept them in. The pitching kept them in.
And their pitching was actually at one point in time. When Walker was on another level, DeGrom was healthy, Stroman was pitching really well. Carrasco wasn't here yet. You had Joey Lucchesi giving you some good outings. So, like, all of a sudden, Mets have something going on with the pitching. But now, I mean, their pitching looked
it felt
in the season.
It fell like down the wayside. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, the thing is that DeGrom got hurt, and then everybody collapsed along with him. And then and that just shows how important he is to have there every 5 days. And what Jericho Sims is in.
And what concerns me, too, is this whole thing with Carrasco. He said he knew that he was dealing with this elbow thing for a while, and now all of a sudden is getting surgery. Like, did any of you guys hear anything about Carrasco's elbow? I didn't hear anything.
Well, personally, I think this is probably the same connection from the offseason. Not even Met. I think this is the same exact thing. And typical Mets, they rushed him in. They needed staff. They rushed him in. And this is what you would have expected to get out of him. An injured guy who's pitching. He's a ticking time bomb. His injury could have exploded much worse. And what he did, he started off games. He probably was fatigued starting off games. And at some point, he got into his rhythm, third, fourth inning. And what we saw of Carrasco this season. Do I really think that's going to be the Carrasco next season? I hope not. But
I think he should be better next year.
But
I mean, this could be like
he needs a spring training.
He does need a spring training. I mean, this could be. I don't think this is necessarily bad news. I think this is more like, okay, maybe this is what was going on with him, because he didn't even look happy to be on the mound many times. I know that's not really his fault, but I mean, he just didn't look comfortable up there. Oh my God. Are you going to continue that?
No.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
It was painful enough us watching, just seeing it. But
I should have started it at like 3. I should have started at 3 instead of 7 or 8 or whatever. I don't know.
The thing that concerns me about Carrasco is like not so much like the injury. It's just like the fact that we didn't know about the injury, that we were kept in the dark. And I was told that, with this new ownership, new everything, there's going to be more transparency when it comes to Mets injuries. Because how many times have we seen this with the Mets where, like, they say one thing with the injuries, but it's really something else. There's really something else going on. And that's something that a lot of us speculated with DeGrom. And then we had that whole botch, press conference with Sandy Alderson. Oh, there's a tear in the UCL. Oh, no, it's a bruise. And Jake DeGrom's like, no, my ligament's fine. So, like, what else do we not know about some other players? What don't we know about DeGrom? What don't we know about? And then Jay Davis, hand surgery at the end of the year, he was battling with all year. Like, we don't know everything about these players and why some of these guys are struggling. Is that why Carrasco struggled? Is that why J.D. Davis struggled at the end of the year? Like,
I'm done with JD. I'm so done with him. I've completely flipped. Completely flipped.
There's a guy that like we have to keep. Can't get Chris Bryant, JD Davis.
I think it was more of an emotional connection. I mean, it was. That's what it was. I love the guy, but he had a higher whiff percentage than Mike Zunino this year. Like that can't be. I don't want him on this team, especially because the upside with Zunino is he's one of the best defenders. So. JD's not that. So
it's also a completely different position. I mean,
exactly.
Defense at catch and defense at third base.
I know.
2 different ball games.
But it really was like he was. I don't know how he had like an OPS in the 800s and a WRC plus in the 130s. Like,
the thing about JD's OPS is that it was at one point, I believe, above 900. And as the year progressed, it just kept decreasing and decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. So I feel like as the year was going on, and again, some of it could be attributed to the hand injury, but it was just like a steady decline in his offensive production. And I just think that when it comes down to it with the Mets now is that you can't have a J.D. Davis whiffing at that rate while also having Javier Baez in your lineup, while also having Jace McCann in your lineup. And if you bring back Jonathan Villar, who swings and misses a ton, we see what happens with the Yankees. You can't have a team full of guys. If you have one guy that whiffs a lot, like just Baez, that's okay. But if you have this many guys, then it just becomes a big problem, and you can't get the little runs. I mean, the Mets never really got the sack fly, the ground ball run. It was just, and that's why their offense struggled so much. So if J.D. Davis is whiffing and he can't get you those RBIs that don't necessarily come with a hit, it makes it a lot tougher for the Mets to be a good offense every single day, because you're not going to always get a hit with runners in scoring position, but if you can still find different ways to drive in runs, you'll be in a lot more games. And just you win, and you see what happens at the end of the year. Win a game here, win a game there. You're in a much better position at the end of the year.
And the thing with JD is that, look, I don't think he'll be this bad wherever he is next year. He was injured, and that is obvious. His finger had to be because there's no way that I think he's gonna whiff through 35% of pitches down the middle. That doesn't seem realistic when it was at roughly 20 to 10 in the middle zone and even less in some zones. But at the end of the day, it's just he's never going to hit that high fastball, that high anything.
Yes.
And that is such a liability has been exposed, and it's going to expose him the rest of his career. I think the thing is, though, obviously he can if he can not whiff at everything else, I think he can be a productive hitter, but it's just too risky. I think we need to just improve the position of third base. I've been very high on Correa. I think he's probably the best shortstop in the league. And
he's very good. Yeah.
He is.
I think he's a little unrealistic, though, if you're keeping Stroman and if it's any combo two of Stroman, Conforto, Stroman, Baez, Conforto. If you do any two of those, I just don't think they're getting Correa as well.
I'll say this, Mets fan, I hate to break your heart, but I'm prepared to let Michael Conforto walk if it means getting Stroman.
I'm prepared for it. I've been prepared for it. I've been prepared to see that he goes somewhere else. I mean,
and he's going to play great. He's going to play great.
You can keep him financially, but you can't keep all these guys. It's not
if Michael Conforto is the blockade between getting a Correa or giving him the money, buy Conforto. I'm sorry, you're gone. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, look, you have some leverage with the Prove It deal that you can give to him, but his agent is Scott Boras, so you're just not going to get. It's whatever. I mean, you
down the days at this point.
I mean, you could live and die analytics like I do quite a bit and say Michael Conforto was super unlucky. I'm not really on that train anymore, and it's the reason because yes, there was his numbers should have been better throughout the year, but even though players like McNeil and Dom were worse analytically and even in every way you look at it, they probably had worse results. Conforto to me represented everything wrong with the Mets offensive struggles more than everyone else, and the reason I think that is every time this guy came up, you did not even expect him to try to adjust. I saw McNeil, he was constantly changing his batting stance. He half the season he wasn't allowed to run, and I know you could say Conforto was also injured, but Conforto just seemed like a lifeless robot at the plate every time he came up. And Dom is Dom. He has sleep apnea and that crap. It's not his fault. So Dom was just never the player he was last season. But it's Conforto, because Conforto's the proven hitter. Conforto's he's going to be a starting player every day wherever he goes, and he deserves to be that. But he did not even try to go to that approach he had last year, which really did work. And yes, you can look at the xWOBA, and there is leverage to it. Yes, the numbers should have been better. But at the end of the day, if he's not even trying to adjust to maybe make those numbers come to life, because everything he was doing was not working. And I don't know why he couldn't. I think it's a lot on him more than some people are putting that out. And we all know that, of course. Like, he was not what we wanted. It's the worst possible time you could have had a year like this.
I'll say what I didn't like about Conforto when you talk about approach is that there were too many times where Conforto was taking a pitch down the middle or a strike, and he was chasing at pitches that were not strikes. So I think that a lot of times he looked like he was guessing at the plate. And if that's your approach, it makes it really hard to have success.
It always came in those moments of like when you really needed it, when he was doing that. And I mean, one of his biggest concerns being called up was the strikeouts, and he's pretty much like he's one of the most disciplined hitters in baseball, but he just he just could not find a rhythm. I mean, that was basically what happened. And I mean, he started to go the other way a little bit more towards the end, but nothing more like to be like effective enough as Obi.
It didn't matter anymore.
A rebound. It didn't matter anymore. But you know, I don't think he's just going to be completely like dead in wherever he goes. I think wherever he goes, he is going to succeed, and if he does succeed in a more outgoing way to a lot of other people, then I can just say I told you so. But you know, I mean, it's just
it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
if ML,
I think he will bounce back. Like, I
think if he didn't get injured, you would just see the tough April he had, and he probably would have just gone back to being the consistent hitter that he was. And he didn't. He did get injured, and then he had a few good stretches, but he was not himself, and you can say that for most of this lineup.
I mean, this was just such a depressing season. I mean, everything was just like I went back to one of the old Mets Weekly streams the other day. I mean, just for old time's sake, like it made me sad. Like it really did. I mean, but who knows? Maybe. I mean, let's make a Knicks comparison. The Knicks were basically like this a couple years ago. I guess. I mean, they were losing every day, essentially. It looked like there was no hope. I mean, similar roster. I don't know.
Well, with the Knicks, when they were losing, there was no expectations. But the Mets, they had some expectations this year, a little bit.
We were a top 5 projected team by every single projection. It was, and like, look, that's like, I almost think that is the ceiling of the team. If you go by roster, player by player, we should not. I'm not going to say top. We should have been in the playoffs. Like it's ridiculous that we didn't even come close. We didn't even win 80 games, and we made a trade. We gave out a $341 million contract, and we didn't even come close. And Lindor overall, I think, had a much better season than people think. Those first 2 months, I think we can totally excuse. Never been in a different organization. He had a 130 WRC plus after those first 2 months. So, and that's better than his career numbers. So,
well, and that's the thing. It goes to show you that money doesn't buy you championships. Look at the Padres. Look at the Yankees. Look at the Mets.
Yeah, I mean, the big payroll doesn't always equate to great success. It helps in some cases. The Red Sox have a pretty big payroll. Dodgers have a huge payroll. They're both in the playoffs right now. But Atlanta and Houston isn't crazy, and they're going pretty far as well. We're right up against those high payroll teams. So, but every now and then it could help if it's the right move. It all depends on do you have a good enough organization around where if you do make that one big move, then you go all the way. I think that's what it comes down to.
It just
feels like need to be shaken up. That's just it.
They do have to do some shake up for sure.
They have to shake something up, and whether it's in the front office, if it's on the roster, I mean, it probably needs to be both.
Yeah,
you just need to shake it up because that's basically where you're at right now. I mean, you put a win now team since Brody came in. He said this was win now. He went all in. He basically destroyed our entire farm system for that. You got no playoff appearances out of that, and it's not working. So you're going to have to find a way to win now and from a different approach, because you're not going to just sit there in the prime of Lindor's career with this 10-year contract, along with Jacob deGrom, who was pitching his best in his entire career. on pace for one of the most historic seasons in baseball history.
He struck out
It just-
45% of batters as a starter. I don't know how that's possible.
Well, it wasn't because then he got hurt, so it wasn't
Yeah.
possible. I think he has to chill out with the 102s constantly. I think it's just a recipe for disaster health-wise.
It really is, but like I don't know, like he
Just-
didn't prepare
Needs
for it. or
low to be
something.
good. That's the thing, and he uses it because he's a competitive guy. I mean,
Yeah, no, he is. He's very competitive. Yeah.
And he knows his body better than anyone. That I know he can just come back out to the mound whenever he's ready. But obviously, it sucks not seeing him every 5 days. But he's absolutely insane. It seems like he's just his prime was just getting started, and it sucks. And I really want him. I really want him healthy, but we'll see. I mean, yes, and leave a like on the stream.
All right, Z-Roos, thank you for joining. We do have other people waiting, so I do got to get to them.
problem.
But thank you for
Take
tuning
care,
in
guys. Bye.
and sharing your opinions and thoughts.
Take care. Bye.
Okay. All right, so next up, we have Merlin, a first-time call-in. Merlin, you have anything you would like to talk about or question or anything like that? Merlin, going once, going twice.
Hey guys, so how's your night going?
Hey, Merlin.
Hey,
What do you got?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm just gonna tell you 3 things. I'm not gonna be here for a while, so I'm just gonna say right here, we need to get rid of Conforto.
You're
Okay.
ready for it?
Because I feel like I think it's already time for him to leave. Because out of all what he done, I think he did enough. But I feel like we could give him the qualified offer, but if his agent is Scott Borders, and we know there's like I would say a decent 80% chance he's not gonna take it because I'm probably I hate to bring this up, but I don't want it to be like the Kumar Rocker situation that happened earlier this year.
In what way, and how lead to Kumar Rocker? Because Rocker is more of an injury thing.
I just wait, let me just like rephrase it. I just don't want us like how do I say this?
You
Let me
don't
just
want
move
what?
on to my next question.
Okay, go ahead.
I just gonna move on to my next thing before I just get off. So anyway, I think we should extend by is 100% because I feel like he's very decent second base. Ever since he came to New York, he had that slump. Then after the thumb down situation, he was playing like all-star level.
Right.
Now, I'm realistic. He's not gonna play the all-star level every single time, but if he can be a consistent player, I will want to keep him. I'm not giving him $200 million. Hell no. But at least I would say 5 years, 120 maybe. But
Yeah,
I
I
want
mean,
my third baseman. I still want a third baseman.
Right. Who do you want to play third base?
So, I'll probably try to find out if we can get Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant is decent. I think he's more realistic unless he wants to re-sign with the Giants, which is a possibility.
Yeah. Ryan said he wants to play the outfield.
We
So
can go
I
for
don't
a trade
know
for
how
Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez make a trade. Yeah, because the thing is that the problem that the Mets are going to face now is where do these guys want to play? Like it's the Mets want to play a certain spot, but they may want something else. Like the Mets may say Chris Bryant, oh, we love you being new third base. Chris Bryant says, oh, I want to play center field. Carlos Correa, we want you to be our third base. Oh, I want to play shortstop. So it's going to come to a weird balance of like it's what you want and what does the player want. It has to work on both sides.
Yeah. As well, I asked him for realistic, but Matt Chapman had a very down year this year. So
Yeah.
there might be a chance we could get him, but that's more of an unrealistic thing. Since his value was low this year.
What do you want to say, Hayden?
I was going to say Matt Chapman, really struggled the first half, striking out a lot. But I'll agree the second half, he really started to show himself. Defensively, Chapman's great. Realistically, do I think Chapman's going to come here? Probably not.
I think the problem with Chapman is like obviously his defense is amazing. No one's gonna question that. But good first half, bad first half, whatever. When it comes down to the end of the year, Matt Chapman is going to finish with high strikeout total every single year. Javier Baez is going to finish with high strikeout total every single year because he is going to have slumps here there where he does strike out a ton. So I think that Chapman wouldn't necessarily fit what this offense needs. Where I talked a little earlier about getting sacrifice flies, moving runners over. Chapman's whiff percentage is through the roof. So I don't think Chapman's going to be that guy that helps you get those other runs that we really need this team to get. Like I said, with VR chasing and the McCann's not going to get you a sack fly. So I just think that Chapman wouldn't really fit in that sense offensively with the kind of team that the Mets have right now.
I mean, I'm okay with having two whiff guys, but like mainly because you have 9 hitters next year, you're not going to have the pitcher at the plate.
Well,
So,
yeah, that's what we're assuming, and then it all comes down to who's going to be your DH.
In this lineup, like you regular can be like, okay, Chapman can bat 9th, whatever, or he can bat 8th because there's another guy who's terrible that can bat 9th. But like Chapman's had that bat before, like he's had that, and he has a lot of upside. That's the thing. He's still very, very young, and possibly the connection with the A's, even though we don't really know what's going to happen with the connection with the A's, considering, I don't know, we're seeing a lot go around with Sandy. Billy Beane obviously said no. So there probably won't be a connection there. But again, the A's could be in a rebuild with kind of Billy Beane just completely stepping down. So I don't know what they're gonna do in the third base position. I really just want an upgrade because you have and the play of VR, and Guillorme and all these guys. It shows how replaceable JD Davis can be, and it's like, I don't know. They need somebody that can be a solid guy to be at third base, because I looked at it. I made this tweet yesterday about center field with third base.
Oh God.
Yeah, with third base, since David Wright got injured, excluding the 2 games he played when he came back, obviously for his send off. But ever since that he got injured, you've had 13 other guys play third base for us.
It's just like the Denver Broncos and a QB. I hate making that comparison.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Broncos this week. I'd love to talk about that.
Oh, please!
The injured Browns. Yay!
Okay, one more thing before I leave. Officially,
Sure.
Jake Reinheimer. When the hell was he playing third base for us?
That was a long time ago. What was it, Merle?
Theo Epstein didn't want to come to New York. Like he didn't want to be the president of baseball operations. I might think because of what happened with Zach Scott and Jared Porter, and maybe the news will be all around him when he if he actually comes.
You talking about Theo Epstein, or
we know that's Theo Epstein.
For Epstein, yeah. No, I mean it's true. They had the same exact connections with the Cubs, the Red Sox, whatever. So, like, if you had Theo Epstein in charge and these scandals came out about Porter and Scott, Epstein literally recommended these guys to Sandy Alderson. So you could give him the same blame that you're giving Sandy Alderson. My issue with Sandy is more so the product on the field. Like, the scandal stuff doesn't help. What happened with Kumar Rocker was a big deal for me. I mean, you can't let that happen. So, I think it's like a combination of things. And I look at what's happening now. Other executives don't want to work under him. They want to have their own say. They want their own power. So I think it's a combination of things with Sandy that, like Mets fans said, it probably is time to a mutual parting of ways, I guess, so to speak, because Sandy did not want to do all the work that he ended up having to do.
I think he's trying to search for that, but like you just don't know. You don't know. He's trying to find his replacement, and he definitely is, but you just don't know who's in charge of bringing in that replacement. So I don't know. He's like the only guy there besides him and his son. I mean, like, he's there. That's the whole front office right now. So we don't know what's going to happen. Again, the story can change so quickly. Tomorrow, Josh Burns could be the president of baseball operations tomorrow. I could wake up, have a notification on my phone that they hired Josh Burns as the president of baseball operations. It's
Not yet.
possible.
Almost. The Braves don't have the three wins of the series yet. It's a 2-1 series.
Started, right?
Who's talking right now?
I said the Braves game just started, right? Dodgers and Braves.
Yeah, it just started, but it's 2-1 right now. So if the Braves win tonight, they still have to keep playing. So Burns won't be available quite yet. It'd probably be like later in the week. Early next week.
Just like okay. I thought you were talking about whatever. Okay, just like we could have a president of baseball operations tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
And you wouldn't be shocked. Things can change so easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
it's kind of like what I stated before. I feel a lot of us are in a rush to get one set in stone, and it's tough because you have to look at both sides. You don't want to rush a guy in, but then if you take your nice time, then you're going to run into the issue of if you pick up a guy, whether it's a Correa or someone else, what's the relationship going to be with the new guy? So you're really on a 50-50 slate. Do you throw in a guy and pray for the best, or do you go the other route, throw someone in and pray they get along with the new acquisitions, whether it's big or small?
Well, Eddie Rosario, it's a home run. So we were talking about Braves trade deadline acquisitions. Eddie Rosario all of a sudden becoming amazing, and the Braves are up 1-0. So there you go. Thank you, Christopher, for the update. Okay, so let's welcome our next guest, as we have Ryan S., who has been patiently waiting. Ryan is another first-time caller / call-in. So Ryan S., what do you got for us today? Ryan, you gotta turn the microphone on so we can hear what you gotta say. Unfortunately, we cannot read minds. We can do a few things, but mind reading, not our best attribute.
Maybe one day.
Maybe. I mean, sometimes I know I'm best thinking. Sometimes
we could probably read Rojas's mind. He's probably saying, "Oh yeah, I forgot. Rojas isn't even here anymore. Why am I talking about him?"
Yeah, I know. And then
imprint it in your mind, man.
Yeah,
quickly.
There's been so much talk about president baseball. Once they finally get that situated, then you can do all the drama about manager. So a lot of work to do for sure.
Oh my god.
Right. Ryan S., anything? All right. Let us know when you're ready, Ryan, and we'll get you back in here. Okay. So anyway, we have the Knicks that are losing 48-38 with Jason Tatum at the foul line, making a free throw now 49-38 Boston. So we got so caught up with the Mets. I kind of looked away a little bit, but
what I've learned about this Knicks team is that they don't try in the first half that much, and then they go full speed.
A little bit New York Jets action, let the team get a head start, and then you make a wild comeback.
Yeah.
It's quite a recipe. It really is. Oh, now is that Dansby Swanson hitting a home run? Oh, I'm Duvall. All the other trade deadline acquisition for the Atlanta Braves. 2-0 Atlanta.
I have
better than Michael Conforto. You heard it here first.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, no. Second of all,
2020
Duvall.
2021, yes.
Wait, back-to-back homers?
Yeah, sure. But like
and belly to belly.
Duvall is such a it is I'm sorry, it's such like a I don't see that going well if they bring him in. Like if the Mets were to bring him in, like you're thinking about like somebody who like could be a guy to coming after Conforto who's locked down that position for like 7 years now.
No, Duvall's not the guy. No. I was just saying
just
for like a year or two. Maybe.
And I think that's what they want now. That's what fans want now. I think that's what they want at the point. I'm not okay with it being Castellanos because his defense is atrocious. And I'm okay bringing in Castellanos as a DH. It all depends on what he actually wants to play.
But I think Castellanos could get just as much money as Conforto, maybe even more, because he did have the good year. More, yeah. So I think that like you might as well just bring back Conforto then. You know what I mean? If you're going to get a guy that plays defense, I don't think the Mets are necessarily getting like if the Mets can move on for Conforto, I think it's going to be because of cost reasons, not so much like to get an upgrade at the position, because I think their priority is keeping Baez and hopefully trying to keep Marcus Stroman or getting one of those other starting pitchers, whether that's Kevin Gausman or that is, Robbie Ray or Carlos Rondon or, any of those guys. I think maybe getting a combination of them plus Baez is their priority, and then you see what happens with Conforto. And don't forget, they're also giving. Well, we assume they're giving the qualifying offer to Noah Syndergaard. So that's another like almost 18.4 million down the drain, and Cano's contract coming back, and the arbitration stuff. So I think what happens with Conforto is that a lot of it is cost reasons. And what I go back to is that they didn't get Springer because they had the intention of keeping Michael Conforto for cost reasons. So like it's just like a whole full circle that you don't get Springer because you want to pay Conforto, but then like you don't keep Conforto because of cost reasons, So I think like it just becomes very confusing. And in fairness, at the time Sandy Alston said that with Springer, they had no idea they were going to trade for Baez and hopefully extend or give him a lot of money. And they had no idea they were going to try to keep Marcus Stroman for a long term because you remember Sandy also talked about extending Syndergaard, extending Conforto, extending Lindor earlier in the year. He didn't really talk so much about extending Stroman.
And then let's forget another. We've also forgot another piece.
Oh, this is a good one.
Robinson Cano.
Yeah.
What about him? Like you just don't know, and it's all going to go down very quickly. What they're going to do. If they don't do anything, then it's going to be really bad. So I do hope they go quick right now. What is he smiling at, this dude? Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, what do you do? Can I make him a third base, make him a DH? You just outright cut him. My main thing with Cano, the one thing I don't want to happen. My number one fear: don't do a Bobby Bonilla buyout. Do not make it where for the next 30 years, 40 years.
I think Cohen's joked about that so much on Twitter that he's not going to do it. Like he's joked about that so much. And like, I think he all knows of the situation. I think we all know the situation because it's like one of the number one ththings to laugh at the Mets for.
Right.
People also forget we also are paying Brett Saberhagen.
Every
$150,000 every year.
A lot of people are paying everybody on deferment day. But I think that because the Mets, it'll become Happy Robinson Cano Day, not deferment day.
Yeah.
So I that's my number one fear. I just don't want
I keep him as a DH against righties. Like I'm okay with that.
Money for a part-time DH.
It is, but the guy's aging. It's not like he's when like Johnny Peralta came back or whatever. Like he was a good player for a while when he came back. He's 38 years old. Like it's just there's nothing you can really do.
Just a random bench bat like the Dodgers are doing right now.
I don't know. They have to sit. What they have to do, they have to. There's just no way if they want to be a player in free agency every single year to set that up, especially with this new front office coming in. If they have to sit down Cano and say, "Listen, you did something really stupid, and we have to restructure something here." Because
they can't do it yet.
Because we saw what they did with Cespedes, right?
Was a completely different story.
Oh, he was always a different story.
No, because Cespedes, it was injury related. Because what happened was, if you remember, when the Cespedes whole contract thing, he wasn't even reporting to the team. Like he wasn't showing up for workouts. So Brody said, you know what? Listen, we're gonna have to restructure it up. You don't show up. If you don't have a certain amount of games played, you're not gonna get the money. All of a sudden, Cespedes was there. When it comes to PEDs, it's a different ballgame. He served his suspension. He, had his penalty already to some extent. So if he gets that third test, then he's done. But since it's not injury related, it's not just getting hurt non-baseball related. That's another big thing that happened with Cespedes. He got hurt in a non-baseball injury manner. So it was a different scenario. You can't just say, "Oh, do another Cespedes," because the way the contract wording is, you can't do it.
But with the situation you have here, you have the guy's 38. You have this crappy contract that you have. I mean, you got to have some kind of leverage there. I mean, they got to find something. I mean, have Cohen do the illegal stuff that they know he says, and find something in there.
Look what the Angels. The Angels said goodbye, Pujols, take all his money and go away. And I mean, are the Angels gonna be paying Pujols the rest of their lives? I don't think so. The Mets have to do the same thing.
Don't think so. No, but
we have to look at the Angels books and
give
see
them the 48 million. I mean,
did.
what is it? 40 million or whatever? Like,
he
still give it to him straight up. I mean, that's off your payroll right there.
And especially for next year. If somehow it doesn't affect your payroll next year, that's a huge deal. Okay, so we have another person. I'm going to say one thing, and I'll say it every time. I haven't seen this in the future, Matt, Anthony. I don't know what it says after, but this is a one-strike policy. If you say something do something or just do something, anything kind of weird, it is a one-strike policy. So think about that before you come on, because if you do anything wrong, you're never coming back on. And I'm very serious with this. So future Met Anthony DeComo, what do you have to offer for us? And again with the microphones, what is going on with the audio situation?
We don't bite people. We do not. I mean, maybe we might, but
I mean, I throw my chair, but like that's the most I'll do.
It's all right. Wherever
probably
you'd
just
like
wanted to show
share.
off the name. I don't know.
Yeah, if you want to show off
Future
the name,
Met.
that's cool. I mean, just let us know. We'll give you a couple more seconds, and then.
There was a question in the chat. I don't know if you guys wanted
Okay,
to.
all right. We'll wait. We'll give future Met Anthony DeComo a couple more moments, and then we can move on to that question, because that was a good question that Martin asked in the chat. So, future Met Anthony DeComo going once, twice.
I just don't know what they're gonna do.
twice.
Like, I just don't know at all.
Right,
And it
let us
sucks
know
that
when you're ready.
you don't know.
You
It's
can always
like-
come back.
You just don't know what they're gonna do. You have no clue what they're gonna do.
Like
And
with
you
these
just gotta
guys,
get a place in their baseball operations. That's it. After the World Series, you gotta pay baseball for you know.
Yeah.
That's about it.
look at Randall bully ball. Marcus Smart post fadeaway. Next man a 5-point game. There we go. All right, so keep or dump.
Jason Tatum looks like shit right now. Looks terrible.
Jonathan VR, Kevin Pillar, and Jose Peraza. So I'll go first. Unfortunately, I'm only bringing VR back as a Randall Hughes story. I'm bringing back VR as like a bench guy at a really minimal cost. Like he's a utility. He's not a utility player. He's a part-time player.
Most at double that he was making last year. Like
Yeah.
most at double.
Yeah,
Like
so,
1 year or 2 years. Like what was he making? Like 4 million or whatever.
Yeah, around
What was
there.
it?
That's what I'm giving. I'm
It's
giving
like
him
2
like
years,
3 million,
16
4
million. Like that's the most I'm going.
I'm going 3-4 million AAV max. I mean, that's the way
You
I
can
look
find
at it.
him. You can find so many Jonathan VRs, and that's the crazy thing. And he's gonna get overpaid. Like whoever gets him, you're gonna overpay for him because he's had a season where he's just like, holy crap, Randall. He's had a season where like
what's crazy
he was just
is
put
to
in.
this point he did become the Mets starting third baseman for a good portion of the season, and like we talked about earlier, third base is still kind of open. So, I don't know.
Randall's on fire right now.
There we go, Julius Randle heating up. All right, we got the ball
Is
game
he
now. Next
screaming?
last
Is he
minute.
screaming at the Celtics bench
2-point
right
game.
now?
I hope so. Boston's missed their last 9 field goals, so they're struggling. Then when it comes to Pilar, he has the player option, so Pilar is staying. The Mets could try to just get rid of him, but I think that'd be a bad look for Sandy. It'd just be like another Sandy free agency blunder to add to the list. So I think the Mets are going to give Pilar another year.
Yeah.
And maybe in the middle of the season, if he's playing really, really bad, they could just get rid of him. Jose Peraza, I bring him back on a minor league contract. That's how I go. What about you, Jaden? What are you doing with VR, Pilar, Peraza?
Start off with John. I guess we'll start off simple. Jose Peraza. Peraza, I'll bring back. He's short, simple. He's been clutch off the bench. Nice bench bat, second, third on the bench. You could throw him late in games. He could play solid defense in the outfield. He's a great utility guy you could shove around. Bat-wise, comes into clutch. You could put him in any situation. He will rake. Peraza, easily keeping. Kevin Pillar's tough. Yeah, I know he has another year in his contract. The only way you're probably going to get rid of him is if you wrap him up in a trade, which includes other people, because I don't think anyone is just going to take Pilar solo. So if you could try to wrap him up in a trade, whether that's with J.D. Davis or anyone we have in the pitching staff, I could see that happening. You do have Khalil Lee. So would you rather have Kevin Pilar take reps or Khalil Lee? Pilar, he's a year older. He got a little tired out throughout the season. Khalil Lee, it's tough. When we saw him at the major league level, he wasn't really hitting much for contacts. He was like Andres Jimenez 2.0. We all know that joke I have. But yeah, pretty much Khalil Lee was just pretty much a defensive guy. Not much contact.
Too early.
Down to
too early. I mean that.
He got sent down to the minor leagues and he raked. So we don't know. Can he hit it?
RC plus guy. So I mean, the Mets would have that going for them. They'd get a lot more weighted runs if they.
Any hit at the major league level is the question. As of right now, I would like to keep Khalil in AAA. That way, he could continue to hit. Don't really want to see him come off the bench. I'd rather him start and continue to start. I don't want to see him off the bench. So let him sit down in AAA, keep his attitude up, keep that positivity, keep the grind, the grit, play defense, hit the ball well, do it in AAA. I don't want him coming off the bench. And Jonathan VR, I think what was it, Jack? Yeah, Jack in the Box. You said VR isn't going to play every day. Mets can't do that. I kind of agree with you. I think VR is going to want a starting role. And on a World Series contending team, I just can't picture Jonathan VR playing third base. I mean, listen, he really was the king of the bench mob besides Jose Peraza. But I want someone much younger and with a much cannon of an arm at third base. I mean, he would be a nice bench bat. I just don't think he's going to want that. So we're going to see. Honestly, Pilar, I guess keep as of right now. If you could dump him in a trade, go for it. Peraza keep. And I guess VR would be keepable if he's willing to play the bench. If not, if he wants that third base or a starting role, dump.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. I agree. It's a tough situation. That's still going to depend on Cano. Like, would the Mets actually make Cano the third baseman? Like,
no, he'd be a bench bat. I mean, if you put Cano at third base, that's a low Mets will. I mean, that's just, you talk about this new ownership. That's Lowell Mets Wilpon 2.0 written all over it. A 38-year-old. Have David Wright play. What? They're the same age around. You can't have that. I mean, that looks so stupid. I mean, you have a guy who's a veteran, 38 years old, 37 years old, gets suspended for his second time using enhancement drugs. And you throw him at third base after a rough season. Mets fans, we've had enough. I want to see a young prime third baseman, whether that is Correa, whether that's another shortstop that's moving over to third base. I don't want the renaissance of Robinson Cano playing.
And you talk about young. You talk about young. The youngest guy on this team is like Dom Smith.
And that's not my
25, 26. So it's like that's the thing. Like, it's time to get new in here, new everything.
I want the Mets to start calling our guys up much younger. I'm tired of our prospects getting called up at 25, 26. Call up our 20-year-olds, 21. Juan Soto.
That has everything to do. That has everything to do with player development. That's how it is. But like again, in 2019, you had a little bit more on the younger side. But like now you're getting into 2021. You're coming into the 2022 season. These guys obviously are going to age 2 years. So, you and even Pete, what is he? He played 3 seasons and he's 26 now, right? 27. I mean,
he's not Wander Franco age. I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's not and that's why that's another reason I was like, get Khalil Lee in here. Get Khalil, like literally throw
Mark Vientos is the guy that needs to get called up.
Come on, like. This is just get some young guys in here. It doesn't like a 20-year-old.
And you know what? It's like my thing.
That was what Ahmad Rosario was supposed to be, but he wasn't. Right. So
if Brett Beatty's bat is that good, why not? He plays third base. Why not?
I think you're going to see if they don't get a Correa, you don't get a Chris Bryant or somebody else to play third base. You're going to see Beatty get most of the playing time in spring training, and he's probably going to be the number one option to be the third baseman because there's just no way. I mean, there's no way where you can't just do anything you do nothing on the free agent market at third base when it's been a problem since Wright got hurt. Yeah. So. Like, you just can't, like, especially when you're saying that you want to be a big player in free agency, but there's so many other questions you got to answer. I mean, there's literally not a single person on this roster, a single person that was on this roster, the 40-man roster or whatever, besides Pete Alonso, pretty much, that has a guarantee. Like, there's pretty much no one besides Pete Alonso and Nimmo and Lindor or whatever.
Right.
Like,
I agree with that. Yeah. Maybe McNeil, hopefully. I think
McNeil, there's been
got
talks
the
about
idea.
him getting out. Dom Smith, we don't know. JD Davis, where's he going to go? Like, we don't know where he's going to go. Nimmo, we know what's going to happen with him. He is a center fielder. We don't know if we're going to extend him or not. He can't stay healthy sometimes. Conforto, we don't know. Pilar is not a future piece. So, like, I mean, most of these guys are free agents. Stroman, we don't know if he's coming back. We don't know what's going on with Syndergaard. We don't know what's going on with DeGrom. Taijuan Walker was very concerning the second half.
Yep.
I mean, there's every single There's
a lot of question
David.
marks.
Okay. Yeah. There's just
Did
so
Duvall
many
just rob a
question
home
marks.
run? I mean, get this guy on the team. I mean, what more do you need?
Duvall just robbed a
He's
home
robbed a
run.
home run from
Jesus
Trey
Christ.
Turner. Come on.
Get Austin Riley and Adam Duvall, and that's my offseason.
I'm
You're
trying
not
not
getting
to have it.
Austin
Let's not try to.
I
I'm
know.
just trying not to get another
Hayden,
George
you want to
Foster
give
type
us
of
your
guy, you know?
closing?
Yeah, so I unfortunately have to retire for the evening. Got a lot to do tomorrow. But I just want to thank you guys for having me on. Men's Talk with Hayden is the name. Raging is the game. Peace out, all. I will see you all next time. LFGM.
We thank you, Hayden, for coming on. So, I mean, yeah, listen, Adam Duvall's doing a lot. He's playing center field today for the Braves. He's been playing center field a good portion in this series, and I'm just asking him to play right field. I mean, I don't see why not.
He does have a
cost
strong
a lot.
arm. Like, he does have a strong arm, but like,
He does have good arm, and he has good fielding stats, and that'll be the show. So, I don't know.
someone in the chat said about David Wright being a coach or a manager. I mean, he's
I would
been
love
asked
to
that
be
multiple.
coach.
He's been asked that multiple times. He said no. I'm not. Like, he's
Not a manager, but I think they do need the assistant coach because when Terry Collins said that interview that like
he was
David
asked as a
Wright-
hitting coach too. He said no.
Yeah,
There was a TMZ whole thing, and he said like, no, I'm not looking for it. I mean, they were talking about that when like they were looking to hire someone before they hired Beltron, and they were talking about like, would you be someone, you know? And he said no. It was on TMZ, but I won't pull it up because I remember I showed it on a stream once, and it got copyrighted. So I'm not going to do it to you again.
Yeah. No, but the Mets, like, if the Mets could somehow get David Wright into the clubhouse,
nice,
so
yeah.
that they have
Absolutely.
a leader, someone that could set a standard for the way that the things should go on a day-to-day basis. Like David Wright could help them out so much in that regard because that's what he did. It's what he did for the Mets, and they don't have that right now. And someone needs to step up. I mean, I don't know if that's week or four if they bring it back, but whether it's Alonso or Lindor, one of those two guys have got to truly step up and become the leader on this team. One of them have to.
Yeah. It's just I don't think Pete is well enough spoken, to be honest, to be that guy. And it's like, yeah, Pete, okay, he's a guy that you see. This guy's gonna be a Met for his life. Like, you're gonna probably see him in a Mets uniform. I mean, unlike what Andrew's gonna say when he pops in. But like, this guy's has an opportunity to be a guy in the Mets uniform, but he's just like what do you, sometimes you listen to him and you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like with Wright, you knew exactly where he was coming
more
from.
Firm, and he was more like strict, where like, you know, the Mets don't have anyone that's strict, whether it's the coach or the players. Nobody has the guy that's going to throw your lunch in the garbage and say you need to be at the game in the dugout watching. You can't be in the clubhouse having, you know, a sandwich.
The first time I ever heard that
about
story,
sandwiches, Andrew, what are your thoughts on that? Right in clubhouses.
Jesus Christ!
Great way to come in. Hey, Fatso, you like sandwiches? There you go. Man. We were talking what David is a manager. Is that what this is?
Yeah, we're just more so like the clubhouse in general, like having a true leader, whether it's Alonso stepping up or maybe Lindor stepping up. Somebody's got to take charge in this clubhouse.
Well, we damn sure know it ain't going to be Pete Alonso because he doesn't have enough brain cells to, you know, make a sentence to actually make sense. But, you know, you would like to see, you know, Lindor to be that guy, especially he's the highest paid guy. You know, yes, he's like 27. He'll be 28 next year. You know, he's still got some age, you know, some growing pains in the big leagues to do. But, you know, you hopefully they sign maybe a vet that, you know, we're all going to complain about. Why are they signing this old dude? Don't for the half of it. I don't know who, you know, Todd Frazier, you know, he's a great locker room leader. But, again, I could see them signing a guy. I don't know who it would be, just a veteran experience.
It has to be someone that they brought up. themselves. You know what I mean? In my opinion, it has to be someone who they brought up. And
Well,
they,
I would go back.
and it seems like Conforto was gonna be that guy, but he's
Right.
just quiet
But
as
he
hell.
didn't do it
Like
this
that.
year though, because Jeff and Luke talked about this year. So Conforto wasn't even doing it while he was here.
No,
So
he knew he was gone.
Conforto was also, I think, too quiet to be that guy that has a firm tendency. And I talk about being homegrown. With the 86 Mets, they talked about the way when Keith Hernandez came in, he really took charge and became a leader on the team. Gary Carter, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember
Different
when the Mets
time,
made
yeah.
the trade. I remember watching the change when Gary Carter and Keith Hernandez would make the mound visits. You could see the impact. And I thought that's what Lindor was doing. When we saw Lindor doing mound visits early in the year, just reading what they say, I mean, from the reporters, I thought Lindor was going to come in and do that because he was the most proven, most established player, perennial all-star, been in the league a little bit, had the playoff experience, which his current team does not have. And obviously, based on what Lupe and McNeil said, that's not the case. So somebody has to step up.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't know.
Because I don't even know if Conforto is going to be here anymore because if Conforto's not here, obviously he can't be the leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
So Lindor really has got to take it upon himself. And what I find weird, too, is that when Baez came in, Lindor stopped doing the mound visits, and all of a sudden Baez was doing mound visits. So, like, could Baez all of a sudden become leader? Because Baez is tougher than Lindor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I talk about having more of a strict personality. Baez don't mess around. So, I don't know. Could he be that guy? But then we saw this whole idea of, like, oh, well, the clubhouse is kind of separated, and, you know, Lindor and Baez the corner, everybody else over here. So, I mean, it just looks like a whole bunch of drama. So, I mean, that is where a manager that has a big-time stature could take over. But, I mean, who's that going to be? Could Bob Melvin do that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Mets aren't even going to get
Yeah, I mean, we talk about...
Could Mike Schilt be a guy that he's a little tougher? He might command the room a little better.
I mean, yeah, we talk about Keith Hernandez, Gary Carter coming in from, like, trades that they've made and obviously taking over. It's kind of a different time when you think about it again. And David Johnson was very laid back in that type of like that. And you kind of could see it. I mean, that was obvious without even seeing. Yeah. Without even seeing the documentary, you knew that David Johnson was a very laid back manager. Yeah. It's just very different. I don't know. I mean, there's just not really guys who just like, a captain has to have it all. I mean, they have to be a good player like David Wright was. They have to be a good guy and a smart guy, well-spoken. So that takes Pete Alonso there.
Completely out of that conversation.
And I want to say it again because it's got a good rhythm. He's dumber than a bag of dicks. So, like, what are you going to do? I mean, Conforto could be that guy, but he's not like.
He's not good. You forgot. You said they have to be good.
So. Yeah, they have. Yeah. So exactly, like you have to have a good batting average.
You can't be batting 220 and be the captain.
No.
Yeah, you have to have a good batting average. That's the first thing.
And you have to be clutch, which again eliminates Alonso. Right. So it's legit. Javi Baez or Nimmo.
It seemed like David Wright was more of he was more of a mirror to a household name than Conforto. So it was like. Yeah, I don't know.
I think David Wright just had that personality blend of like being a really nice guy, but also being tough when necessary. And I just don't think the Mets have any toughness. I don't think they have anyone who's really could when the Mets do dumb things or when they just completely die. Like we were talking about earlier, this team was in first place for a long time, and they just died. I mean, there's no other way around it. Like someone didn't stop the bleeding. Someone didn't stop the free fall and say, listen, guys, we got to.
We saw what happened with that raccoon incident.
Exactly.
Luis Rojas.
Oh. And you saw what Alex Cora when Alex Cora was yelling at Eduardo Rodriguez for pointing at the watch. When they asked Rojas about thumbs down, I don't know what that is. Like Alex Cora knew the split second when Rodriguez did that. He knew what was going on.
You
have to be so much more in tune with what's going on, and the Mets just haven't had that with their two previous managers.
Zero instinct. It's zero instinct. That's just what it is. Like when you feel like you need to make the decision, you make it right away. And
But what's cool about Cora is that then he embraces Rodriguez, and even though he yelled at him, he quickly talked to him in a very respectful, positive manner. So that's why
Gary Collins.
Mix of toughness, but also a good, relatable person, someone you enjoy talking to. The Mets need that, and
they do it all.
I don't think Beltran's that guy. I could never see if let's say Best Man, you talked. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago about maybe Eduardo Rodriguez being a guy for the Mets. Like he might be a cheap option for the rotation or whatever. Let's say the Mets did have him and he was taunting another player. I don't see Carlos Beltran yelling at him, stop. Like that's just not Beltran's personality. So, I mean, I don't know.
I think this.
If it was Wally Backman, I see him going out to the mound and shoving him to the ground.
Here we go. This is the perfect scenario.
Right now, so Wally Backman always has to.
The Ducks are in the play. I got the perfect combination. The three-way combination. Your hitting coach should be Beltran.
Okay.
The bench coach should be Dykstra. And the manager should be Backman.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I want to see Lenny Dykstra in a press conference, dude. You can't do any of that shit live, man. You will not be able to do any of that shit live because your network would literally be on so many like restraints.
And Ron Washington's the third base coach.
And just everything out.
Ron Washington for third base. You already start seeing it. That move I like. Ron Washington third base coach. There we go.
Okay, speaking of what we're supposed to be, what the Jaylen Brown? Can you piss off?
Yeah, he came back from COVID too.
Exactly. I was on lunch and I saw Brown's gonna play. I'm like, we gotta take care of Tatum, and then like, okay, Brown's playing. I'm like, okay, he's gonna be a pain in the ass, but this guy doesn't miss. Like I'm listening to the game. Brown swish. I'm like, what? Every 2 seconds, Brown bucket. Brown. I'm like, what is happening?
Back, though. They fought back.
They did come back.
Got cooking.
Randall's killing it right now.
He went intermellow real quick. He's like, get in the bag real quick.
I mean, yeah, Jeff Brown, 25 points in the first half, literally carrying Boston right now. And like you said,
let's move to another sport.
3 of 10. Meanwhile, Brown shooting 9 of 12.
Let's move to another sport. Let's talk about anybody seen some good cricket games recently? Like, because I have.
The Penguins lost last night. It was overtime.
Penguins
lost. Shootout. Listen to the shootout last night. Fucking ban the shootout. I know. I've just banned the shootout. Just give me 3-on-3.
Bro, that game, Igor's game.
Was the most overrated game. The guy took no high velocity
if the Penguins
did
that, you'd say something different. You'd say something different.
Yeah. The Penguins would at least scored about 4 goals at the pace they're going against.
What I love about Igor is that he's so young.
Oh yeah,
he's 100%. Just so young.
Like Frank's like, can you shut up, you Canadians? We're talking football, basketball, a little bit of baseball.
No, but then talk about the Knicks. Like Julius Randle has 22 points. No one else is in double figures yet. Derrick Rose has 4 points on 1 of 5 shooting.
I need them to use RJ the right way.
Like Kemba's only got 4. The Knicks need some of their guys to step up.
They take him out. They take RJ out of the play sometimes, and it pisses me off. Like, and you don't have an excuse to just like.
And RJ's only shots have been 3-point attempts.
3-pointers. He hasn't gone at all.
What he does best. You know,
it's improving, but it's not as many.
Who do you have back in the paint right now?
Yeah, they got
Grant Williams. Who's their center?
Yeah, no one. Robert Williams. They have the Williams combination. Grant Williams. Anyone named
If you give RJ the left hand, he's going to destroy you. So
I'm trying to did I miss any good?
He should not be taking one shot. He should not have one shot. There's no.
It was a pull-up 3. I heard that like on the radio. I'm like RJ pulling up from deep. Like what?
Yeah, he's 0 for 3, and all shots have been 3-pointers. Like they got to get Barrett going. I mean, he has 2 assists. So
this happened opening night last year when they were playing the Pacers. RJ 9 for 9 to start the game, gets 2 shots after the rest of the game.
Exactly, and then he goes.
He's not a very aggressive offensive.
I mean, obviously that's with Alfred Payton being a fucking war criminal.
But.
Like, come on, people. Like, I don't get it. I'm so tired of playing like 2-man offense where like 2 of the guys are literally just the only ones touching the ball.
Yeah.
Like
Emmanuel quickly 1 of 4. Obi Toppin 1 point. Like, I mean, someone's got to step up.
So, did I miss any good questions? Or I was going between you guys and the Nick radio, so I don't know if I missed any good questions that the Rhino needs to answer.
We had Ruse give up on JD and Conforto. That was pretty interesting.
Oh, I was going back. What? They're both going to be playing. One for the Atlanta Braves, and the other one's going to be playing for the Minnesota Twins. Is that what?
No, he didn't give teams. It was just more so about JD whiffing and just like.
You had a lot more. You had a lot more leverage with that joke, and you didn't go. You said one of them's going overseas, and the other one's going to.
Well, I'm not. I'm not that guy.
What was that? What was that team I registered Jared Eichhoff to? It was like We Sang Penguin or something.
Some shit. It's the third best Penguins, but just send them away. The Penguins.
Penguins.
Penguins,
The
not
hell's that
Penguin.
from?
Penguin. It's a minor league hockey team. It's that, or I don't know if it's a minor league or it's like somewhere in Russia. They're named the Penguins, not Penguin. Penguins.
Wait,
I'm like,
are you telling me the Braves are going up 3-1 again?
Oh no.
Looks that way. Yeah, Freddie Freeman hits the homer as well.
Oh boy. Hey, SDS, free Freddie
I
Freeman
don't know.
or
If they
Austin
steal
Riley.
a game in LA, they're pretty much set. They steal a game in LA, they're set. Like,
yeah.
But we said this last year, then they just choked again.
well, they didn't play in LA. They didn't play with any.
Yeah,
they didn't play any anybody.
They
Yeah.
didn't play anywhere. But I just
If I see the Braves win the World Series, it will be depressing. But
well,
like,
no, and they're gonna go back to back when they sign Conforto. You know, he's gonna win World Series MVP.
okay, like
Oh God,
Houston won't let that happen.
it's just he's gonna do it.
I don't know what the hell they're gonna do.
No, he's
I don't
no.
know what they're gonna do.
I got it. He's gonna sign with the Yankees. They're gonna find a way to move Gallo or just Stanton, whoever, and he's gonna go with 50 homers in the short punch right.
Texas will take Gallo back.
Then
Texas
they
will take.
really could go pull happy all he wants.
Oh boy,
All the unlucky outs would be homers.
exactly. All those pop-ups, homers. Just or he go no. I'll say. Would Philly be stupid enough to put him back in center field?
I went to Yankee Stadium this year to see the A's play the
Think of what
Yankees,
Bryson said.
and
Could
yeah,
do it.
and that short porch in Yankee Stadium has to be demolished into like crap because like that. I'm sorry, I saw Tony Kemp like flick his bat like in front of himself, like way out in front.
Oh, hey, my
Like
man, Tony, that's my man right there.
like
Tony Kemp, oh boy.
Tony Kemp, like he flicks his bat and the ball is just like it's carrying, but it has like zero spin on it. It's just going like, and it's just like carrying like into like the second row of the short porch. And you're like, what
Nice.
the? It makes no sense.
Set.
Like,
And there goes Frank's ad revenue thanks to Matt.
Oh no, Elias already completely.
Oh, I didn't. I saw a little part of why would he laugh.
That's out of the equation.
There you go. Like, see, I heard something like, "We have a one-strike policy. Don't do anything stupid. Don't say anything stupid." I'm like, "Am I allowed on this show now, or is that?"
No,
like...
I'm talking about people like who haven't been on before. Like, you never know what people.
Oh, you knew. Well, about to say, damn, he's really not going to allow me back.
I mean, aside from me, we've all said something stupid, right? Aside from me, right?
I mean,
I don't think I've said anything live. Like not like.
Yeah, most of the stuff is off stream. Frank says some dumb shit.
I haven't said anything. Frank's like, I haven't said anything in public.
He's like, off stream, maybe I've said some dumb shit, but I don't think I've said anything with the cameras rolling. I don't think.
But like,
Cleveland
I
Brown,
said
what the hell are you doing,
elite,
dude?
but like, I don't know if that really counts. Like, what we're
Wait,
talking
that's
about.
just that's just a factual statement. So, I mean, I don't know how McChicken is even though McDonald's McChickens are probably the worst chicken sandwich out there.
People like chicken sandwiches. I just like chicken.
Dude, that's like the trend now. Everybody's got a goddamn
He's
chicken sandwich.
disgusted. Oh my gosh.
Tibbs is pissed.
Tibbs Nation.
He's like, I came back for this.
It is. Oh.
I could you see the Knicks having like a little bit of a letdown because like they didn't have expectations, they overachieved. Then they get Kemba Fournier and like all their young guys are a year older. Mitchell Robinson's healthy. Like then could the Knicks kind of like have high expectations and not meet that?
I don't. I don't have like. I'm not like in this win now. I think it's win now, like playoffs now. I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's like full on championship or
no.
I
didn't say that.
top contender.
That, like as far as like
just win a round. Like that's my just win a round. That's all I want. Like show progression.
Oh, Mitch.
But also when they trade Fournier for Damian Lillard, it's gonna be pretty cool.
I'm done with guard. No more guards, please. No more. Please, no more guards.
No, we'll start.
Anything yet? The Knicks still need a point guard. They like to mess with a seven. Still need a point guard.
Still need a fucking point guard. What was I gonna say? I was gonna call.
Well, we got enough point guards. Come on now.
Do we? Not
He said, do we?
Rose quickly.
Rose doesn't count. Rose is not like I'm talking about your Lillard, your Curry, your.
Well, nobody has. The only two teams have those. I mean, that's not saying only two teams have those.
John Morant. I mean, do you have someone of his?
I mean,
caliber?
I mean, Kemba was that.
Kyrie Irving,
like
when
2 years ago.
when there's no pandemic going on, he was a franchise point guard.
Can we give a want to give a massive
Everything
shout
Mitch-
out to Frank about sports. He said Kevin Gosman's name
did,
correctly, and he did it like
I
Gosman.
thought about it before I said it. I was like, am I going to say this correctly? I hope I'm saying this right. All right. Thank you, Christopher, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Yeah, and I was like, I think I'll get this one right.
All right, is that the real Tony?
Jumbo.
It's not. It's zero.
It's-
You can see who it is.
It's
I got the way.
Giroux.
For an old man, I know how to.
He's an old man. I know who that
pretty
was.
well.
Oh man, so, I don't know.
Oh boy.
Would you have? Can I interest you in a Ben Simmons as your future point guard? You have
Oh
any
God,
interest
no!
in
No, thank you.
taking it, Ben Simmons.
God, no!
Point guard.
You know what's bad? Like my dad doesn't really pay. He
Is
watches
Tony-
the Knicks.
Is this
it's
actually
not-
Tony?
No, it's not. It's zero.
It's zeros.
Oh.
Like my dad doesn't watch the, but he watches the Knicks. But when he told me at lunch to say, "You hear about Ben Simmons?" I'm like, "What? What? Where did you see that?" He's like, "Oh, it's all over the news." Oh, because we're in South Jersey, so I guess the news is talking about it.
It's a big story, even like just everywhere. In the
But it was
NBA.
What did he like? Does he just not want to be there?
He wants
Like,
to
is
get
that it?
traded.
Yeah, he wants to get traded.
Okay.
He's been disrespected by the Philadelphia organization. I mean, they finally asked Doc
Okay.
Rivers like, "Can you win a championship with Ben?" He's like,
Disrespectful and Philly in the same sentence? What a
Yeah.
shock.
"So
And if he plays on Friday, get the batteries. You know, they threw batteries at Santa Claus. Time to throw batteries
God.
at what's it called?
I don't know if this is actually.
it's not." I looked at it. You can tell who it is.
It's Zeroos. He's trying. You know, he just wants to be with. He always likes me. The guy's like just follows me.
Is
He just-
RJ hurt or something? Like, what the fuck's
I thought Kemba was hurt when he took the foul late in the half. I'm like, oh great, there he goes. Game 1, he's already hurt.
Yeah, the only guys we knew were out is Noel's out, and then Gibson's out for personal reasons.
Yeah, Tosh is
Maybe
all
he
our
had a
centers.
kid or something like that. So
And then-
like Thibodeau said, good personal reasons. So
Yeah.
so it won't be out long. But Noel, I thought that was
Tim starting to heat up? Shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then when that wide, I'm surprised if Tim doesn't call a timeout out there. You have Williams going
He's calling
right
timeout,
on the baseline, completely just untouched.
It's pretty.
Wow, Grant Williams. I mean, they just completely defensive
Okay.
collapse.
What other great? What else did I hear that I wanted to chirp with? I was just trying to think about what you guys were talking about.
Should the Mets keep Dom Smith? I'll give him one more year as a bench player. Unless they can get a good trade offer. If they can get a good trade to get another center fielder, a third baseman, a right fielder, or a pitcher, then Dom is trade bait.
Okay, I need to say something because I had a
Yeah,
realization.
on the scale from war criminal to untouchable, like it's like you're in the, like
I
whatever.
thought McChicken.
Whatever
I
you
thought
can get
McChicken
with
would be
Dom
the
Smith.
bottom.
You're open to so many options with Dom Smith at this point.
I thought McChicken would be the lowest. Or
Yeah.
you're telling me McChicken's better than a war criminal? You just admitted McChicken's better than a war
He's
criminal.
literally right there. He's just sitting on the top of the post, man. Fucking
But no,
God.
I had this realization when I was bored at work today.
Right.
I don't want the Mets making any big trades.
20 years old, Zarice.
He's
20
20.
years
Oh, trades? Okay.
I don't want them trading anyone for the next year and a half. I don't want as much as I know Mets fans. I don't want J. I don't want none.
Not
no,
even
no.
like Dom or JD.
Okay, mine are like okay, we can, but I am not touching a prospect.
Okay.
And I know who's your prospect. Like I'm watching everyone says it's the Dodgers and the Dodgers, and I've been thinking about this, but it just hit me when I was listening to a podcast on like a Dodgers podcast. I'm bored at work. I just put on crap, and they were talking about like from when Magic bought the team to now, and I'm sitting and I'm thinking all these idiots being like, we got to sign Correa, we got to trade. I'm like, they were like good before Magic bought the team and turned them into the dynasty. We are here. The Dodgers were at least mid and then got even better. We're down here and we're trying the expectations to be here. So I don't want Beatty's name. I don't want Alvarez, Ginn, Allen, no Maurice, no one gets moved. Because until this farm is replenished and stockpile, then we can go out and make the Scherzer type trades, the Mookie type trades. I mean, yes, you got Lindor for in reality lesser value than what he probably would have been worth 3 years ago. And yes, we don't know what Isaiah Green
played into that because he was expired.
Yes, that's the other. But like Isaiah Green and
Wolf.
the other guy,
Josh Wolf.
who? Oh, Josh Wolf. Like they were second round against Brody picks.
Mhm.
So, but like and I know me and Mets fan were talking about it in one of the I don't know if it was the off-season video. I think it was the off-season stream. They were like, "Oh, we need to trade for." Like, I want no trades if for like another year. Like Baez, like at the deadline, okay, but like I'm not touching the top.
Only trades would load your farm, right? Only trades would
exactly,
load your
exactly.
farm.
More Khalil
Like-
Lee deals. Like no trading like the top guys because we're not ready yet. Like the Dodgers can trade Keybear.
So could I interest you in like a Steven Matz-ish trade with JD Davis? Like I trade JD for prospects and then
like that.
They did with Wignowski to turn that into Khalil Lee.
You probably get more with
JD.
JD.
Kind of like move pieces around.
Exactly. I am all for acquiring prospects. I'm not. We're not.
Like we were talking. I don't know if you heard the segment when Leas came on about the Braves deadline and how they got four players compared to the one and like the sum of the parts kind of aspect. So like with the draft, you can only get the Mets. They're in a weird case here where they have 2 first-round picks, but a lot of times like you can only get a prospect at a time. So if you can find ways, since we talk so much about the Mets farm system being top heavy. So if you can get those other like later round guys just to build a deep organization, those are kind of moves that they should be focused on. And if somehow they could get Burns, that's his forte.
Well, that's it.
That's where he specializes. So he could really just replenish this whole system. And that's still why, like, as much as Baez played well, and it makes the hindsight move look better. But even with the injured PCA, I still just wanted to see what he was before I just gave him away. Because we saw clearly like it didn't happen in the majors, but in the minors, the great WRC plus.
He just wasn't ready yet.
We've seen that with players where like they're good in the minors, but not good in the majors. Like I don't know about Khalil Lee yet, so I feel like PCA was like my other outfield option in the farm system. Like now we have Rincon, who's playing really well in the minors. We do have a couple other outfield prospects who are decent, and they've experimented with putting Beatty in left field, maybe putting Daniels in left field. Because we also have Mauricio. That's something we haven't really talked about today. But you also have him that fills into the equation. So the third base is the weirdest position because it's a need now, but it's something that could be fixed within.
There's so many options they have right now.
Yeah, but things like they'll be fixed like in a year or two. So that's why, like, if you get Correa now, or you get Jose Ramirez, whoever, Chris Bryant now, okay, but in a couple of years, you would be fine if you did have Beatty, you had Vientos, you had
Stop shooting threes, Toppin. I swear to God.
It's something to think about for sure.
Like,
especially if Beatty's bad, it's good. I mean, the guy just continues to rate.
I love how it says right. I just love that guy. It is. I love
that shit's going. That shit's getting right. That's good. We're on that ride now. So it's
amazing that that's how I can be referred to. Hey, what's up, Brandon? But I was just like, it just hit me because I was watching prospect videos, and I'm going to be doing more minor. I think that's where I'm going to go, is straight minor league. So yes, I'm going to be the prospect hugger now because that's all I really care. I love minor league baseball, whatever. But like, the Dodgers can trade Keybear Ruiz, and then Diego Cartel is coming. So they can trade. The Dodgers could have traded Francisco Alvarez and then find the next guy. Where the Mets trade Francisco Alvarez,
they're screwed.
They're screwed. The Dodgers can trade what's it called? Yusnel Diaz,
Verdugo?
and then Verdugo's there, or Gavin Lux. Now Michael Bush is the next guy. Like they Zach McKinstry, they keep developing. So like, I get we want to be good soon. Yes, we want to be good every year.
Right.
But if I see another person saying, "Oh, I want to dump Mauricio and Allen for J-Ram," great as J-Ram is.
Yeah.
We are not ready. And yes, the expectation, we want this. We want to be good now. We're not.
Something I thought about years ago, and if I knew what was going to happen has happened, I would have done it. I would have traded DeGrom a long time ago.
I'm trading him now.
I forget who said it. I don't know if it was Jack Ramsey. One of these reporters said if the Mets hired Klein Bloom, they would have went into a rebuild. And it seems like maybe a rebuild is what the Mets should have done all along, because it's clear that this core being in win now mode, as you alluded to earlier, Mets fan, with Brody's mantra, they just couldn't do it. So like, would a rebuild have been smarter? I don't know. Like you could have just gotten so much for DeGrom if you're not going to capitalize on him, because like you said, it's like they just don't look like they're there yet. I mean, what really haunts me is that they had a worse record this year than they did in 2019. On paper, that should have seemed impossible. So, like, they're so far from where they need to be. So, like, in order to get to where they need to be, they do need so many. They need to develop so many other guys, and then they can make the big moves. But they've already hamstringed themselves with having Lindor's contract on the books.
Yeah. And I think I brought this up in
And if
Rhino
they add
Hour.
on Baez, that's another massive contract.
Another massive contract. But yeah, I brought this up on Rhino Hour last night. Yes, I'm plugging my shit because I love Rhino. I love the idea of it. Besides the point, look what Scherzer just went for. And yes, you added Trey Turner. The Mets can't do it. But like, who was the main piece in that trade? It was Max Scherzer. Yes, Trey Turner's a very, he's my guy, the best shortstop in the game. But like, Scherzer was the main piece. And if you want to see Keybear for one, Josiah for the other, it could be. What could Jacob deGrom? And it could be a rental situation at the deadline. So you could opt out. What kind of package you can get back for Jacob deGrom? I know I make the joke of, I made a joke last night.
I don't know what's going to happen with his health. He can't throw
exactly
forever. It's clear what happened this year. And also, I don't know if you're with Carrasco. The way all of a sudden Carrasco's injured and needs surgery we had no idea about makes me really think that we don't really know what's going on with deGrom. And that's what scares me.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, a lot of things can change instantly. Like you can get a new hire, you can get a new this, and you'll see the direction you're in. We just don't know what direction in, and it's not realistic to get that direction because baseball's still going on. Like they're still playing baseball. So, and we're all just kind of in the dark right now, and that's how it's going to be. Luckily, we have 3 other sports that are available to watch. But
and we know it's lockout next year.
You just if you see that, you just got to see what direction they're going to go in. And that's basically it. And they have no direction right now. It seems like Cohen wants to get the best guy, and he's thinking long and hard. That's what she said. But like, he's going
for the ball. They don't pass it to him. Oh my god, Barry going to the hoop, nothing there. Foul.
And he gets foul. Yeah.
But like you can't even. Yeah. Nice.
They got to close the gap here. Get some of the bench out there. Come on.
Look at Schroeder. I mean, you want to talk about bench pieces?
One year, $6 million. 1 year, $6 million.
I already tore Buster Olney a new asshole yesterday. So I just like, it's just like he's talking about like so you can just make fun of the next guy that comes in, or like you can trash the next guy, and you can bring up a story that you've literally been holding for the next 4 years by the company that
great hire
by the company that employs you
about him.
Yeah, I just
he has no you can't have it both ways. Like he can't have it like. And listen, Jared Porter needed to go. He fucked up. That was stupid.
And then they got replaced.
Don't try to say that you weren't part of the situation that made it worse, and say, "Oh, well, we just held it since 2016," and yeah, it's just like hypocritical. It's so hypocritical, and it's ridiculous. And ESPN is a legitimate shit show. I mean, that literally is what it is. But like. I don't get it. I mean, once we saw Chris Berman take a step back from all of that, I mean, that's pretty much when it all went downhill. But like, I don't know. It's just like at this point, if he's going to use it from both ways and criticize the Mets front office woes when they were involved in the story that was released, why don't you apply for the fucking job then? You know what I mean? Like, show us what you can do. Then.
They're quick to criticize.
Put up a show
their shortcomings, like when the team doesn't perform well. But yeah, I would love to see who Buster Olney and Passon and all these other guys, Ken Rosenthal would have signed. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Yeah,
because you know what? They all would have signed James McCann.
Haha. The Mets are hilarious. We know. They're funny.
They want to come to the Mets. All of them would have signed McCann. So simple as that. They all would have given Lindor the contract extension. Like
good ESPN numbers.
Good ESPN.
I don't know. Look, Obi Toppin. There you go. What's popping?
Some of these guys, they just take themselves out of the play. Like it's like get these guys involved.
I'm so upset Bacon is gone. So many puns just out the window.
The old man puns are gone. But yeah,
oh, Tracy Morgan, my man, he's in the attendance. Oh, that's nice. Good content right there.
Oh my god. So chat, let's make this question. Who will get their offseason prediction out first? Me, Mets fan, or Frank? No Mets fan doesn't make that kind of contact. But let's see whose video will get out first, me or Frank's?
Andrew.
You're saying, no, dude, I'm gonna be working 8 to freaking 8 or later I'm gonna be a fucking slave for a
RJ!
while. I'll be gone.
Well, I'm saving my video until baseball's over. So
Yeah, I got the graphics all ready to go. Oh, man, this background, I don't know whoever picked this background. It's pretty smart, pretty smart guy. Whoever picked this nice, colorful background. Maybe graphics would look good on this.
yeah, I liked it. I was like, oh, whoever did this, thanks. Let me use it. I was like, blue and orange. That's the next colors. Let's do it.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't pick this one. I mean,
He's asking you, Rhino, what do you think the Mets will do in the offseason in 3 minutes?
Okay, let's see. First thing we do is we eat up James McCann's money. We call the Cleveland in.
No. What are they gonna do?
Oh, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, what do you think the Mets will do?
That's crazy. It's like somebody warned people about McCann before this. It's just crazy.
Get out first.
Knicks take the lead. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go.
I would say
Thank you for joining. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Javi is the first guy. That's the first thing they're gonna do is Javi.
Yeah.
I think they'll call Marcus. I think Marcus is gonna be like
Syndergaard, give him the call.
Besides Syndergaard, technically a qualifying offer. That'll be the first thing.
Here's my prediction. I'll cut you off for real. 1 second. Ready? Well, here's my prediction. This is what I think they're gonna do first. You ready?
Oh, okay.
I think they're gonna hire a president of baseball operations. That's what I think they're gonna do. And
No,
then
they'll do that right before the lockout.
then they're gonna get a GM, and then we're gonna hold out for a manager. Spring training. It's gonna be spring training. That we'll have no manager.
No manager, spring training, and then Jeff Passing gets the friggin' job. There you go.
Don't remember how long it took that manager search before Beltran got the job?
It's so stupid. Like you have your 5 guys, do your interviews and move on. It should take a week.
No, they got Beltran pretty early. It was the replacement that took a long time. They got Beltran in October.
That one, yeah. Oh yeah, I was working then. Yeah, I was working. Oh, and there goes Mets fan.
Yeah. No,
there he is. Nah, put him on bottom now. Nice.
It was the replacement that took a long time.
But what was I gonna say?
What I don't like is that so far, I know it's obviously still very early, but the president of baseball ops search seems so similar to it was last year.
I know you're just hunting for days. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like the Mets are like trying and like they're getting denied. It's like, oh, who are we gonna pick? Like I don't know. I just feel like it's.
I think
if Burns says no.
Michael Hill.
Michael Hill or that intern from Tampa Bay. That dude with a good throw. That guy just seems like the next generational
I love the
stud.
names that we're hearing. I love the names that we're hearing.
I saw a list. They had a guy from Milwaukee, had a guy from San Fran, they had the Dodgers guy, Tampa,
and the other Dodger guy, Gomes.
Yeah, exactly.
And these are all. You look down the line of all the lists of guys that have been mentioned. These are all guys with different types of approaches to how they would run a front office or how they would make decisions. I like it. I like the choices. And I'm going to tell you right now, Theo Epstein, Billy B, screw off. I don't care. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, the big name is never
the guy that traded Eloy for Jose Quintana? That guy?
Okay.
I mean, everyone makes mistakes.
It's not like we traded in an average. Okay, Kelnick. I don't know what Kelnick's going to be, but for an average reliever and
we don't need him.
Middle age.
We don't need.
We don't need center fielder, right?
Stacked we've been
Frank, it's not like we've gone, friggin' 10 decades. It's Beltran's left for center fielder, right?
It's been some time.
44 of them.
Like you said, the most interesting stat is like not so much how many outfielders the Mets have used, but more so how many of them are retired. Like they used a bunch of different guys, and like they're horrible. Like so.
You know what's crazy? The 44 that I said, 44 that were all since Carlos Beltran was traded. All the 44 that includes Jose Reyes, who played center field once. You remember that?
Okay, why are we slandering Brandon Nimmo? Like this is what this whole we got fucking Brandon Nimmo.
Again, he would have been a key if he's always healthy. Like if he was healthy.
Sorry, Frank. I got a little pissed off. I just realized this was some Nimmo slander, and
No, it's not Nimmo slander at all. It's that Nimmo would also be better in other positions. Like he's a better corner outfielder than he's he's a good center fielder, but he's even better in the corner. So why not make your defense better by getting even better?
I have no problem with any aspect. I have no problem with any aspect of Nimmo's game it's literally just his health at this point. Like
Yeah,
that's
and
all
also,
that's the
if
problem.
Nimmo's not in center, he also doesn't have the same workload, which also reduces the risk of injury.
But like every
He
time he
has
gets
all
hurt,
these
he's running the bases.
injuries.
Like if you look at all his injuries, minus I think one, they've all been running the bases or at the plate. They haven't been in the field.
We
Like
had
it's
the
all
one he
been
ran
like
through a wall in
the
Atlanta.
exactly the
Yeah.
one like that was the only one. Like everything else is running the bases or he pulled a hammy going around third or got hit in the hand. Like it's
A lot
all
of
like
energy.
He also
it's
took a
like
black
a lot of
eye
energy.
dive for a ball, which didn't
that
have to be
was
an injury, but still.
yeah, but that was just a dolphin dive. It just didn't go well. We all have those.
Yeah, Call of Duty. Brando's playing Call of Duty at center field.
Dude, I need to see that now. I need to see Nim playing some Call of Duty on stream. That just sounds amazing. Yo, I shot a deer. Oh, it's a person. Oh damn, this isn't realistic.
Yeah, and they'll just be like, "Gosh darn it, it got me."
Oh gosh darn it, dude. Those if you haven't seen, Google Brandon Nemo, Gary, Ron, and Keith.
Yeah,
Those
I'm going
codes.
to a game chat lobby, people screaming out, well, that's not very nice.
I know, right?
That's not very nice.
That's not very
That's
Christian
a
at all.
profanity.
RJ for the
That's my
lead.
mother you're talking about.
All right, so I will. I'll probably stay on here for like another 10 minutes because I can hear I was watching the game with my dad, so I'll give you another 10, and then I'm gonna go watch.
Really delayed. Jeez.
Yeah, so I just get it right. Like I know Burns, it's the perfect candidate, and the Mets. It's never gonna be the perfect candidate. It's gonna be some guy we've never even heard of.
I can't believe they talk to a car salesman. I hope that's not true. I really hope that's not
the
true.
car sales. Like
what are you doing? They talk to a guy. I think that was a fake account about the old guys in football. Like, what are we doing, man? Do you know what sport this even is, Sandy? Like, are you that old? Like, do you know what we're playing anymore?
Like Mets fan, do we need to get the I wish Hayden was here, man. We need to get the musket out and just we'll make a little trip to city up to New York.
See, Nemo's good in the corner. There we go. Nemo's our corner outfielder, fourth outfielder at best.
Yeah, I hate y'all sometimes. There's the southern, there's the country ag, there's the inner Missourian out, man. You piss me off when Nemo and then the southern Missourian comes out of me.
Well, that was the whole conversation.
Look at RJ to pat on. Oh, that's what I see. The Knicks in transition. You had Toppin get the dunker transition. You had Barry get a dunker transition. Like when you're a young team, use your advantage. Run.
Use your athleticism.
You missed Frank on those peach baskets, man. Frank back in its day was running with his high top socks.
Baby, you know what we do. Cherry picking.
Oh man, this man's LaMelo Ball. Hey, just sit back at half court. Hey,
Shall we transfer to football and talk about how Derek Carr just became
what being an average Madden card and
what did he become?
Dude, I did not expect.
Henry Ruggs and Darren Waller can make any quarterback look good. Let's
I thought they were gonna look like shit, dude. Like I thought they were gonna get blown out, but they made
the Broncos are frauds. Why is this surprising?
Second best defense in football. I'm not talking about the Raiders.
Three of the worst offenses in the league.
Raiders.
They played the Jets. They played the Jaguars.
I'm not talking about respect the Raiders. Don't respect the Raiders at all. We suck. Respect Derek Carr. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he'll look good. And let's see, what team we trading? We'll trade him to Indianapolis for Carson Wentz.
Look, the Raiders, their best days when Marcus Mariota was the guy. That was
one of the saddest days of my life. I'm not gonna lie. Whoa! So what happened to Jaylen Brown?
I just see him right now on the free throw line. Well, not the free throw line, but on the side.
Okay.
Knicks
are doesn't have the. Let's go.
Nice.
This team works quick. I like it.
That's what she said.
Oh yeah, I see. He flopped. I mean, that's just typical NBA flopping.
Oh, of course.
When they barely touched him, and Jaylen Brown's done for the day.
Come on, Jaylen. What the fuck, bro? What is he doing? You're an all-star now, man.
You're an all-star now.
That's what NBA all-stars do.
Facts. LeBron James.
Hey, LeBron said he doesn't know what flopping is. He's never
doesn't know what a flopping.
He doesn't flop. He just over-exaggerates everything.
Hey, LeBron's not an all-star.
A flop is when you fall. LeBron will be standing up, holding his
eyes,
but he's over-exaggerating.
LeBron is such a faker, dude. He's such a baby. But
Jesus, my background is so beige. I just realized how beige my background is. Holy hell. Just looking at the camera, how beige my background is. Holy fuck.
I was just looking at how white I am.
One the other time.
Oh, yeah, that's
White.
terrible.
I just always look at how white I am, and closer to the camera I get.
Exactly. You're like Casper the freaking ghost over there. Is that racist?
What's happening? You're on baseball savant all day. You're not, outside.
See,
I used to be a lot whiter than this. I'm not gonna lie.
You need. Oh God. See, this is why. Chat. Do we need to take Carson and Frank to spring training? Is that?
I would
do
love
we-
to go to spring training. Are you kidding me? That'd be great.
Well, Carson, you gotta get out of the dungeon. You can stop playing
Randall!
Dungeons and Dragons.
Randall missed
cool.
with the buzzer. Damn it. He's falling.
We're going to
down.
the fourth.
Brad actually got free throws for that. They fell for it. Oh my god.
Was it? We're in the fourth quarter, or still the end of the third?
No, they're going to the fourth now.
And
Look at
the
the
third.
Randall.
Oh, there's Pat
The
Mahomes.
baseline. No.
But chat, all right, are we doing? Because I think we should do it at Duffy's. It just makes sense if we're at spring training. Do we do Duffy's or do we do Hooters? Because Hayden is trying to get us to Hooters. I don't know if that's an individual idea. Maybe
Everybody goes to Hooters for the food.
exactly. But I think Duffy's. We can call in. We can get the SNY set. We'll do
Right.
Mets Weekly live on the SNY set. Just makes sense.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I do not
And
want
I-
to be
and
associated
think
with
of-
anything that SNY does, dude.
And think about the content.
Worst.
We could have a GoPro on the Rhino. If I need to find a way to get a GoPro and just show you guys what I do.
Rhino Cam.
Yo, Rhino. This is how I address with trampling kids. Hey, get the Jake signing. Get the fuck out of the way, kids. Just start yeeting kids out of the way. No, I don't do that. I used to do that though. I don't do it now.
When you're getting autographs, you probably do some Rhino action.
Oh,
Rhino
you see, yeah, you see the fastest Rhino and you see the most dangerous Rhino. I don't move.
To be honest, if you can push a lot of people out of the way that are like pretty strong, I mean, you might get a contract with the Raiders to be an offensive lineman because that's
hell, I block better than Alex. I got way better footwork and I block a hell of a lot better than Alex Leatherwood. That one game I saw.
But can you block better than Nate Solder? That's what I need to know.
I mean, I can let what's it called just blow past me and touch my quarterback. I ain't that hard. And
no one got past that Raiders offensive line. No one, and they dismantled it. They got rid of it. Thank you, Gruden.
And Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper and any talented players on that team just seem to leave.
Yeah,
I don't really miss Cooper that much.
But Derek
Right now.
Carr actually get a lot of attention because if he does, then he's gonna get traded.
He's gonna get traded. Facts.
He's stay underrated, so teams don't want him.
Oh,
trying
he's
to
always going to be underrated.
Who needs a quarterback? Who needs a
I
quarterback?
a couple of teams. They play in the same state. Both could use a
Carr's already
slight upgrade.
established that he's
The Eagles and Steelers. They need quarterback.
I don't know why he said
Two
this,
more
to be
teams in
honest.
the same state.
Might
I know.
be a
You know,
little-
Andrew. I know another two teams in the same state that could use the quarterback. I got three.
Jacksonville and Tampa. I know Brady's getting old and Trevor Lawrence is kind of ass.
States. Yeah, so that's three different states that have multiple teams that need
Oh my
quarterbacks.
God. Okay, can we stop trying to trade Carr? Okay, it's not the off season. All right, this is what all Raiders fans do. They just trade Carr.
They just trade.
Like, what are you gonna get that's better than him though? Like,
First
that's
round
what I
pick.
mean. Like,
Daniel Jones.
I'm tired of like it's just so stupid. And he's also come out and said, I don't know if that's just like a certain way of his judgment, like just being ridiculous. But he said, if I'm not a Raider, I'd probably retire. He
That's
said that.
cap. He would look at a good
I'm
offensive
serious.
line and say,
And
deuces.
listen, I would not blame him for
So-
saying, "Get me the fuck out of here." But like, to be honest, like he deserves so much better than what he gets. But it's literally like the career that he's had is literally like Matthew Stafford. It's like the same fucking thing. Like you
So
have
we-
to realize he's the
So
So
same.
he's going to the
Common thread.
Texans. So he's gonna get traded to the Texans, is what I'm hearing.
Not Tua. Not Tua.
No, yo, fact.
Tibbs is on the mic. Tibbs is on the mic talking to the.
Oh
he's
boy,
like,
dude, he looks like a gremlin, but he's just an angry
So
gremlin.
funny.
So,
RJ back in the game here. 14 points in the third quarter.
what are you laughing?
I don't know. The way Tibbs is-
Oh, Mitch, let's
he's
go.
like- He just looked pissed off. The way he's standing there.
Hey, what do you want, man?
He
What do you
wants
want?
no part of this interview. Like,
He's like, just I want to coach. Get this stupid
I
headset
know,
off
he's
me.
like, well, I got a job to do, but you're annoying me, asking me all these stupid questions.
Oh, you stupid at my bald
I got
spots
things
on
to
camera
do.
now. Like,
Yeah.
got this bald spot.
He's like,
So.
he's trying to win a-
not having health.
He's always in the ball spot. Oh, look at Toppin, alley-oop. Oh, no, there you go. Stay
No,
with
Mitch, put it back
Mitchell
down.
Robinson. I like it.
Yeah.
Jericho Sims barely been played. Like, they really
Yeah.
And this is what we were a
But-
little concerned about. Like,
Taj
no
and Noel are
Noel,
out.
no
I'm
Taj.
surprised, but-
Still
Mhm.
giving a Mitchell Robinson heavy
Taj can't
minutes
play 30
following
minutes.
an injury.
No, but
That
Taj is
cannot
hitting
happen.
threes now. Taj is
He's
in
a
his
dog
bag
now. Hey, Taj Gibson's a dog, but I don't want to kill him. Like, I don't want to kill him. The guy's got sweat dripping down his face like 3 minutes into his playing time. It's like enough. You don't have to kill.
I guess you could go small and have Toppin play some 5. That's an option. You could go small.
I don't even trust Toppin at the 4.
No, and you put him at the
I'm just saying,
5.
give Mr. Robinson a rest. Like another
Toppin's
option.
defense is like
Or
if we're not using Jericho Sims.
I saw David Lee in the stands.
Imagine you go 10-day contract. David Lee, come on
Go
back.
Toppin! Let's go!
All
Just
right.
cut the damn hoop. Stop spotting up, weirdo. Jeez.
As fun as it always is, I got to dip because I watched the end of the game with him. If there's Met Weekly, Met Weekly. Only one Met. It's just Met. Met Weekly tomorrow.
You're gonna ask yourself.
You get the S back when they get prisoner
on
baseball
stream at 7
operation.
o'clock.
Exactly. It's like what's it called? Urinating true.
Weekly.
Yeah, it's like it's like when urinating
Yeah.
true. What team is it? Doesn't have the win in its name.
Twins.
The Twins. He lost the word. There's that beautiful logo right there. Just majestic rhino with a baseball bat. As much as it should be a bazooka.
Oh my god! If they called that an offensive foul, I would.
They're going to call off. I told you this is a terrible officiating crew they got.
Yeah,
they
it's
had,
pretty
I think
bad.
Malloy, Lauren, and then I think there's another one too. I was like, oh my god.
Oh,
Got it,
Lauren
Frank.
sounds
I will
a
see you,
terrible
boys.
referee.
I'll catch you.
The name Lauren sounds like a terrible referee. Oh my god! I don't know. It's just gonna be all whenever it unfolds. Like
At least Toppin's got something going.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean. Like you have like this sequence where you have like 2 guys doing all the scoring and touching the ball. Like I just hate it. It's the only thing with
and it's so sporadic though. Like they'll
very...
have a little stretch and then like they just don't go to him. Mitchell Robinson getting fouled. Okay, there you go.
It's weird.
Toppin passing. I like it.
Come on, Mitch. You got to make one of these.
If the Knicks could get one of the combination of Knox, Toppin, or Barrett to take like a huge step forward and like become a real starting caliber player that's averaging almost 20 a game, it'd make all the difference in the world. They need one.
RJ's the guy. I mean, RJ's going to be the guy. Like,
it's not going to be
like RJ's like this guy has like this guy was he improved so much last year. Like the guy was literally shooting 40% from 3. This guy who was literally told as like a shooting liability coming out of Duke. Not to mention the guy's he was 19 years old when he got drafted. So RJ is I definitely see RJ as like a future to like the second option. And that's what I see it as. And since Julius Randle's going to be here long term, that's how I see him as the second option to Randle.
I think the problem is that you can't win a championship with Randle as your best player and Barrett as your second best. Like, I don't even know if you can win with Randle as your third best and Barrett as your fourth best. Like, eventually, what the Knicks have to do is they just have to keep playing really well to attract stars or somehow develop their own stars, which it's not going to happen yet.
Good board, Mitch. Let's go.
Man, Jalen Brown almost cooked right through me. He split the double team. Jeez Louise. Oh, you're so far ahead.
Randle, he looks just as good as he looked last year in the regular season. So if he turns into a superstar generational talent, I mean, why not?
He's good, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to be like top
it
20. I'll see it. I missed it. I looked away. I got to see.
Oh my God. Get the hell out the way. Oh God, that's awesome. I loved it. I loved every minute of that. That was awesome. Every second of that.
There we go. All right, Rose, pick and roll, Toppin, alley-oop. Get postered. All right. I like
Get out the way. That reminds me so much of Ron Baker getting slapped around by Anthony Davis.
How much better is it to see Obi Toppin on the pick and roll catching alley-oop than standing in the corner for a spot of 3?
Takes him away from the play. The same thing that Knox has done for the last 3 years. It's just ridiculous.
So, I mean, they got to incorporate a lot more. And that was good action because they had Mitchell Robinson screening on the other side. So you have 2 guys setting screens. And you're like, okay, well, who's going to roll? Because either one of them could catch a lob. So I mean that's really good.
I talk about this all the time. You look at the dynasty that was created in Golden State. Obviously, it's like died down a little bit, but they look good this year. You talk
They
about
beat the Lakers last night with no Clay and no Wiseman.
Yeah, you talk about Curry. You talk about Clay. All of these guys, not to mention, they can get themselves open without touching the ball.
Yeah.
These guys move so much.
Yeah.
There is not a time where you see them spotting up. Like for like 5 seconds of the shot clock, they're spotting up. That's it. Other than that, they're moving around. Like move. Stop standing in the corner.
Yeah.
You have no idea how many times I've seen Knox like just standing there the entire shot clock, and he just does nothing.
You have to be doing something. You gotta be trying.
Yeah, you're wide open, but you're an inconsistent shooter. Nobody's gonna respect that jump shot. I mean, the guy's
open for a reason, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand it at all.
And then what happens is that is the players chase Curry and they chase Clay around because they respect their jump shooting so much that they're like,
else open.
We cannot leave these guys open under any circumstance. And when you put them with screens and they're running around, all of a sudden switches, defensive miscommunications, and you just have easy shots all over the court. So, I mean,
I've seen so many instances.
It's not Tibbs' game. Like, Tibbs is a defensive coach.
When Draymond was in his prime, like the 2016, 2017, I've seen so many instances because Draymond, outstanding passer, by the way, does not get enough credit for that.
Especially the position.
Draymond standing at the top of the key, and you literally have 3 different guys running around, like basically going around him, and then like another big man setting screens. Like it's crazy. Like he's just standing there with the ball for like 10 seconds, and like somebody gets open. It's like it's nuts. Could you imagine if Jokic was on that team? No one's beating that. Yeah. No one is beating that because if you have coverage, he's just gonna pass it right through your body.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's just I don't know. I always move, always be moving. That's how I like it. Like that's how I dominate on 2K. How I used to just always move.
But Tibbs is more of a ISO guy. Like Tibbs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He focuses on defense and then offense, kind of like
you can see the amount of guys that are on this roster.
You know, it's kind of how Tibbs.
And I'm okay with that, but just like give everybody a chance, like equally in a sequence. Like you just can't have like Randall and Mitch touching the ball for like 10 straight minutes and like nobody else. It just takes them away from the play.
Yeah, like we said, it just happens like it's so sporadic. Like you're seeing Toppin kind of get into a groove. You're seeing RJ kind of get into a groove.
Let's go, Mitch.
It wouldn't surprise me if all of a sudden they're just going to somebody else, you know? Like, yeah, see, right here, second half. RJ Barrett, 14 points, Toppin, 11 points. And it wouldn't surprise me all of a sudden like Alec Burke starts shooting. I mean, like they just completely change what they're doing. But let's see what we got here. Jaylen Brown still carrying? No. Rebound, Toppin, Rose. I want to see them keep running, too. Especially if Toppin and Mitch Ross can be catching lobs. Like, if you run, it makes it – so here we go right now. Rose in the post, everyone just standing around. Everyone is standing. Nobody's moving. Look, you have 3 guys on one side. You got Rose, Toppin, and Barrett all just standing. Mm-hmm. And then you have an air ball. Like you said, there's just no player movement at all. There was nothing – creative. There's nothing imaginative. It was ISO. It's just take a jump shot. Eventually it's going to get you nowhere. Meanwhile, Celtics, you got screens, offensive rebounds, and then you hit the 3 because of the offensive rebound. Even though the Knicks had a bunch of guys there, nobody boxed out. You know, it's
like spacing can be made like, but you have to have that misdirection. Like that's the thing. Like,
and the problem is
Jesus Christ, Burks, what the hell was that?
Was that nothing? Was Toppin that shot that? Where are you up to?
I'm at like a little under 8 minutes right now.
Oh, okay, then I'm ahead now. If my iPad is slower than you, but the TV's faster than you, but you're gonna see Toppin just take a terrible 3. But I think like you're talking about spacing, and when your front court is Robinson and Toppin, there's no spacing. Like neither one of those guys are shooting.
There isn't. Yeah.
So you can't space the floor. Like you can't put Robinson in my 3-point line because nobody's gonna guard him, and they're just gonna stand in the paint.
What, Obi? Can we not shoot ourselves out of this game, please? That'd be nice.
And now Rose misses a floater right at the rim. Oh boy.
Can we What am I thinking of right now?
that would require a timeout in my estimation.
Randall, where is he?
He's probably going to
Where's
rest.
Randall?
They're resting him now. Let's save him for the last 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Probably, yeah.
Taking
Damn it,
threes, man. Like we said, like Toppin was just getting it going at the basket, and he starts shooting threes. Like, I mean, what are you
I
doing?
don't get it. If it ain't
And that's the other
broke,
thing too. Like, I don't know. Like, I think one of the things that would help the Knicks out so much is if they got another big, like even if it's off the bench, that could stretch the floor really well. I think that would
Absolutely.
help them out so much because
absolutely.
Rose at his best at the basket, Barrett at his best at the basket, Randall close to the rim. So you would like to have some other guys spacing the floor besides Evan Fournier. So if you could have another big doing it just off the bench while Mitchell Robinson's getting his rest, or even every now and then just substitution wise, like I said, sometimes go small, have another guy stretching the floor, and then you could kind of switch a little bit. They're like, oh, we need some defense. Now we bring Robinson, then we take Robinson out. Like, I don't know. I think you can get creative with stuff like that.
I just find it so like the top and draft pick. I find it so like I don't get it. Like his defense isn't good. He doesn't shoot well enough. Like he just takes himself away from so many things, and it's like, what is he there to do? He's there to dunk. Like what is he there to do?
Yeah.
Like
that's it. And the thing is that like his height puts him in a weird state. It's like, is he a 4? Is he a 3? Is he a 5? Like, you know, like you said, like since he doesn't.
And I understand like getting out on there in the fast break, like once somebody grabs it, but you're a big. You're supposed to be the one boxing out for that. Like that's the thing. Like he just. Takes
what do you think he's gonna be? Blake Griffin? Like, I mean, I don't know.
Blake Griffin could at least rebound. Other than that, but like it's just. I don't know.
No, he doesn't do anything extremely well to where like this is his role.
Especially when you lost Bullock this offseason, I still don't understand why they did not go for Tyrese Halliburton over Obi Top. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Like that's 3-and-D right there. Tyrese Halliburton, I think, is 6'7". So
yeah, he's tall. Yeah,
and his defense, his length is good enough to play power.
He has really long
arms. Need him to.
A good wingspan.
He definitely does.
And he would fit better because Halliburton would give you, like we said, that spacing. But right now, they're having Toppin at the 4, then I can play Halliburton at the 4. You know,
the Knicks never draft well, so it's like.
What was the last good draft pick they really had?
RJ.
Even then, like at the 3 pick, as like the 3rd pick, I don't know.
That was the best you were gonna get there. Like that was the best. Like still. Yeah.
Even then, it's been some time.
That draft class was like it was weak after that 1 to 3. Like it really was.
Like you kind of knew that from the jump. Like you had Zion and Ja, and then it was a pretty big drop off, especially after RJ.
I mean, anybody else you can think of is like Kobe White, maybe, but like that was about it.
Right.
He's okay.
Yeah. Like there's no more all-star.
Cam Reddish, he stinks.
Cam was not as good as he was supposed to be either.
Nazir Little was a complete bust.
Mm-hmm.
Sika DeBoy is good, but he's just not like a. RJ's the guy. I mean, that's your. Who do they have?
Other than that, oh God.
I mean,
Toppin's draft also like wasn't very good.
It wasn't.
Wow.
But you had some good guards coming out of it.
What's crazy is that like Quickly had a better year than Toppin, and Quickly was the 25th pick compared to Toppin being the 8th pick.
Well, that was part of the Kristaps trade.
You know, I know, but
they got
still,
like,
that's a problem.
I'm okay with it. I mean, thing about Quickly, he's still raw, but he's got a lot of upside, and that's something that I'm willing to wait for.
No, but I can see an upside. I can see Quickly becoming like a solid all around, point guard. Maybe not, even if he's a kind of, but
step back, Jay. Kemba Walker.
I missed it. So we were talking about Quickly.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
10 now. Wow, that'd be quick.
God.
Let me see. Fournier with the D on Jason Tatum, the strip. Okay, there you go.
Let's go.
Let's
go, man.
Oh, they put Randall back in. Okay, makes sense. Close out the game. Randall, Kemba. Let me see. No. All right. So Kemba made a nice shot but that wasn't necessarily a smart shot. Like it still is that ISO jump shot.
That's I mean, that's
It's a
some
good shot because it
vintage
went
Kemba,
in, but it doesn't necessarily mean it was
That's
like
vintage
smart.
Kemba.
And then there's topping in transition though. There you. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
That's what
And
you
they have
should
a lot
do.
of athletic guys on this team. Like that's what they're there. Like,
Randall in the
they're
post
very
mismatch,
athletic.
and he's passing. Oh my god. Who's
Yeah,
that? Is that Kemba just dancing? Oh, see, then it doesn't work out. You'll see the next shot by Kemba. He's dancing, and it's just like a random mid-range shot. It's like
Yeah.
and then,
Again,
wide
your
open
key
corner
guys,
ball.
your key guys are very young, so it's like we'll see what they turn out to be. I mean, again, I'm not full on like what's going on with RJ Barrett, like because the guys at the end of the day, he has a good game, he has a good season, he has a good season, but again, he's 20 years old. Like that's like he's not like in his third year at like 24 coming out of 4 years of college. He was a one and done, and it's like you just never know. And I think he's handled himself very well. I mean, the guy barely, I mean,
speaks.
barely has a reaction to anything.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like Michael Conforto, man. Yeah.
But I mean, like Randall makes a baseline shot, but again, it wasn't necessarily a smart shot. It's falling away.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm okay.
I
I'm
said,
okay with feet in the high.
you were talking about Kemba. I
move
said that
around.
from the beginning. I said like Kemba's exciting, but I wouldn't guarantee that he's going to be Charlotte Kemba. Like you could get Boston Kemba.
Probably not. No. Yeah, probably not.
Like,
But
you have to get the Charlotte one.
you have so many weapons that have so much upside, and like that he doesn't have to do it alone. And that's the thing. Like that was the thing about the Celtics when they had Kemba. Like they had Tatum, they had Brown, they had they had other weapons around
Marcus
him.
Smart's a really, really good player. So underrated.
He's really good. Oh my. Okay, Randall is literally taking over, right?
There he goes.
This is great. Randall just going off.
No, they really have smart defense. So smart, but I don't know why they haven't been defending him though. I mean, I really.
I think they're just. To be honest,
Woods.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're not seeing like many smart shots, but I think they're just abusing mismatches right now. Because you look at this Celtics team, they play a lot of small ball. They got a lot of guys who don't really play good defense besides like Marcus Smart. Come on, bro, that's a flop.
The Celtics have always like even like Robert Williams and Grant Williams are power forwards and centers, but even they're still undersized at those positions. Like they're not. None of these guys are 7 feet.
Yeah, it's all about the analytics.
Oh God.
Wait.
Don't tell me. Jaylen Brown way downtown. No.
That is not a.
No.
He's locking up his arm if I've ever seen that. Come on, man.
Celtics moving the ball. Grant Williams. Yes. Next guy is offensive rebounds.
Can someone explain Randall's turnaround? The dude grinded his ass off. That's literally what he did. He literally just last year off season during the pandemic, everybody was sitting around and he grinded his ass off. That's what he did.
I think
what he did.
I think Randall, it's just been a good progression. Like he was just getting better his career. Like last year with the Lakers, then his year with New Orleans. Like he was just progressively getting better. And then next he got better again. Like he's just that's what we want
His
to see with
confidence
RJ.
just went up being a leader. That was
we
just
want
what
to
it
see
was.
that with RJ. Like as you get older, you just get better. I think that's been the main thing with Randall. And he's just using his physicality more, like his body. Like you look at, like you said, the mismatch. Like look at Randall's body type compared to all these Celtics. If he just uses that size to his advantage, which he's been doing, down low, he could dominate.
I mean, the one thing about Randall is that his defense got better. Like he was
that's
one of
where
the worst defensive
comes into play.
He was one of the worst defensive like power forwards coming in when he was signed by the Knicks. And like his defense got so much better.
Yep.
And it's crazy. I mean,
but that's what Tibbs does. So much of defense is effort. It's about coaching. It's getting your guys to want to care about defense, and that's what Tibbs does a great job. He holds everyone to such a standard that like they want to play defense.
Every Knicks fan wanted him gone after year one. I think they just wanted the losing to go. Like there really wasn't much that like you could do. Like they pretty like with the Knicks, like
And
in
actually,
that
quickly,
year-
wasn't Porzingis. That was Morris. I just remembered. That was
Was
the
it
Marcus
Morris?
Morris trade, yeah, with the Clippers.
I think they traded that pick with like, or what was it? It was something like that. No clue.
think
It was some pick. I don't know.
Yeah. They've done a lot of trades for picks, but I think
They
quickly
traded
was the
up
Morris
and then
one.
they traded down or something.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
something. Yeah.
They moved around.
I wish that would McCann, but like, listen, McCann doesn't have any room to grow. Like he's hit his like that's the thing. Like
And basketball and baseball defense is different. Like in baseball, you either have it or you don't. Basketball is something that coaching it can be improved.
absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of it, basketball defense, a lot of it's effort. A lot of it is effort. Because, like, you know the players already have the athleticism. So you're not worried about that. It's all about, can you mentally be consistent defensively because you're out there all game. And I think the other thing with Randall, too, this happens with some players, like him getting better offensively, I just think he put him in such a better mindset that he all of a sudden became a leader. And then that kind of also inspired him to become better defensively.
Here's what I like about Randall is that he's not afraid to take the ball when you need a bucket. He's not afraid to take the ball. But when he sees trouble, he's passing out of that. Like in the first year, he was going all in. I mean, to be honest, the spacing on that team was awful. The first year that Randall was on the Knicks, that was so bad.
Because they signed a million centers. And that's why you just had no space.
So many bigs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, it's so... There wasn't really much they could do. They went all in. They traded Porzingis. They got all these draft picks. They had Dennis Smith Jr., who they're like, okay, this is going to be our point guard. So he looked like shit. Problems. Yeah, he looked like shit.
He was already a bust in Dallas.
And they got him back. Wesley Matthews waived the next day.
Who could actually shoot?
Be there.
Yeah.
They basically traded it all away to get Kyrie and KD. They didn't get them. And they just signed a bunch of random guys.
And
Steve Mills is a moron.
They also were under the impression that they were getting Zion. And if not Zion, at worst case scenario, they were getting Ja Morant. They did not think they were getting the third pick.
Yeah. You weren't going to get anybody. You weren't going to get anybody. And that's the thing. Like, Rant. Toppin is literally just killing me, man. It really is.
There's so many guys. And now Randall misses. You're going to see Randall miss a shot at the hoop. 4 guys standing around.
That's
and
the thing.
Jalen
Like
Brown at the other end and 1. Oh, my God.
Can we not?
Are they calling offensive fouls? Wow, Knicks are drawing a lot of charges. Lauren calling everything a charge. Damn. Come on, Lauren.
Like, I literally just saw Randall shoot one off the front rim. Toppin doesn't even get boxed out. He jumps while the ball's still in the air. Like, what is he doing?
Look at Kemba drawing the chart, taking the Jalen Brown knee right to the shoulder.
They're going to call a foul.
109,
Oh, let's go. Okay. All right. No
Kemba
ref ball
dancing.
tonight. All right. Not much ref ball against
Randall
the Knicks.
Posting up. There's Toppin cutting. Toppin. Oh, God. This is just.
Like he jumps while the
ball's my God. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
The offensive. Where's, like, Rose? Like, there's just no offensive creativity right now. They're not getting good shots at all.
See, here's the thing, Zuri, is about
random
Kemba.
jump shots.
Here's the thing about Kemba. There's not really much of a risk if he isn't good. Let's be real for a second. They signed him for 2 years, $17 million or whatever. Like that was there wasn't really a risk. Randall, what the fuck was that, dude? Oh my God. He's feeling himself a little too much.
That's what I say. Then all of a sudden, like, oh, wait a minute. AJ Pollock, RB 2 runs.
No.
Wait a second.
No.
Thank you for bringing up Splorts. Hopefully,
okay. Please be okay. No.
Everyone's okay.
Okay, he's okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Barrett, no call.
Can't have Kemba getting hurt.
Right, you have to call.
Can't have Kemba getting hurt like that. God, he looked like he landed on something wrong. Fuck.
He was dancing.
He's
Sure,
still
dude.
limping. All right, come on now. We need like a dagger right here.
No dagger. Timeout.
No dagger.
No,
God damn it.
timeout. I would get Rose on the court. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Rose could just facilitate a little bit. You know, like I mean, like when they had that play where you had Robinson and top and center screen, top and cut too, like that's good basketball. But then when you just go back to Toppin
It's
to back
just like-
to Randall, Toppin to Randall, shoot a jump shot, like nothing.
It's just like, first of all, Toppin and Randall cannot be on the floor together. That just cannot happen.
Yeah.
Like that, I've hated that since Toppin, like his first ever like game. Like that just can't happen. Obviously, you have a shortage of centers tonight. Jericho Sims is not going to get that much playing time as a rookie. Mitch is on restricted minutes.
Right.
So like, I don't know.
The
Dodgers
thing
coming
with
back.
Toppin,
God.
the thing with doing Toppin is to have Quickly, Toppin, and Noel all play together on the second unit. And after Noel gives you a defensive stop, just run. Let Quickly use his speed. Let Toppin use his athleticism and just run as your second unit.
Noel is
I don't know what's hurt right now, but I'm just saying that like when he comes back, that's the role for Toppin. Have Noel give you the rim protection, and then like Quickly run the show. Go every time. Toppin and Quickly just run. And maybe even put Knox into that mix as like the backup small forward and just run. That's the only way you're gonna take advantage of non-shooters that have athleticism is running. And the one way to do that is with good defense.
your biggest,
protect the rim.
your tallest big that can shoot is probably Randall right now. Like that's about it. Like you think about it, and Randall's not really a like a big.
That's not
man.
anything
He's
like that's not Randall's best attribute. Randall is the closer Randall is to the basket, the better he is. So his jump
What?
shot's too inconsistent.
Just happened. Did Jaylen Brown just? Oh, that's dirty.
Oh,
What
they
the
did.
hell, dude?
Shit.
Jaylen Brown just threw it off of Evan Fournier's leg, and it went out on him, and the Celtics got the ball back.
And now Jaylen Brown goes to the
That's
rim for
such a
two.
dick move.
Oh boy,
That is such a dick move.
that's
And
basketball.
it's smart, but it's a
Yeah, it's
dick move.
basketball.
Bush League.
48. Oh, 48 for three. Got it. Oh.
Is that it?
Yes.
Is that it? That
That's
it?
Tiger action.
Is that it?
That
I
might
kind of want to
be-
see what the Dodgers are up to.
That might be the one.
Yeah.
Wow, turnover on Boston. Or
Oh,
timeout.
Jaylen Brown's a problem. Jeez.
No, Jalen's really caught to play today for sure.
Hell yeah. Tatum has not looked that good. Fournier. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jokic and Booker facing off. Nice. Jokic. Holy shit. Is that it? Is that it?
It could be.
Am I the only? I was called crazy for saying the Knicks were gonna own the Celtics this year, man. I'm telling you that they're gonna own the Celtics. It's gonna happen.
If it's a bunch of like small victories, like just very close margins, that count as owning.
I mean, getting those daggers, I'm okay with it. I love that game last year where they just walked into Boston, blew them out by like 30 points. I love it.
No, there goes the Dodgers comeback. Mookie Betts grounds out. Ah, there it goes.
God damn it.
Mookie ruined it. A lot of people at MSG though. Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh man. I mean, this is it. I mean, the vision has been created right here. I mean, it's only going to get better from here. At this point, all James Dolan had to do was shut up. And and then it's like, yep, it's over. That's it. It's over. You're gonna get a playoff. You're gonna get a playoff team every year if you shut up. That's it. Just shut up.
Randall with the clutch
That's
strip on Jaylen Brown.
Nice. Randall.
Oh, find your man. Find him. Move it. Oh, man, you got mine open. All right, just want to hold? All right, that works too. Whoa! Wow, no
What just
call.
happened?
Oh.
Oh, the Knicks didn't get a call?
No,
Nice.
they got straight up blitzed. Oh,
Whoa.
no. Oh, no.
They're going to call that a Wow. That's ridiculous. Wait a minute.
Knicks are starting to, I don't want to say Reggie Miller, but.
Uh-oh. Don't
turnovers,
do it, please.
turnovers.
Can we not do this, please?
Quick fashion.
Oh my God. Can we not do this? Can we
Wait
not
till
do
you
this
see.
right now?
Wait till you see.
Oh my God. Can we not Alfred Payton this, please? Fucking turnover and turnovers.
He's still here,
I
pretty
just
much.
can't.
That was a nice pass. Can Robert Williams make the clutch free throws? Does Robert Williams have the clutch gene?
I don't know.
Yep.
That's a foul? What? That's all ball, isn't it?
Dorian
Did
Williams?
he foul him? Yeah, on RJ. The call on RJ? What the
I thought they.
Wait a
Oh
minute.
no, you know they fouled Williams, but I thought this got fouled 2 possessions.
That's all ball. What?
No.
Oh
foul.
no, that's a foul. Never mind. That's a foul. God damn it.
Who was that? Was that Kemba that just threw the ball away before? I think it was.
Might have been. I don't know.
That set up the foul. I think it was Kemba. Let me see something.
Oh my.
Yeah,
God.
Walker
Mitch
turned it over.
now Mitch is coming in. Just
For the rebound,
yeah.
which there is no rebound because Williams makes the free throw. So now the timeout, they're going to take Robinson back out for an offense.
I think Mac Jones is the real deal. No clue. I have no clue. I'm gonna tell you right now. I hope he's not, so it makes Belichick look like shit. But you know.
You never know.
Oh God.
Wow, both those turnovers were Kemba.
Jeez.
That's not good. I mean, that's another thing about Kemba is that he is short. So stuff like that can happen where he throws a pass and he gets tipped by taller players. Like that is a thing. Yeah, if you had Ben Simmons at point guard, they couldn't do that. But you want to talk about ruining Randall's spacing? That would just be the ultimate. Just like forget any spacing for Randall.
I can't stand Ben Simmons. Like I think he's a good player, but I just don't think he's like.
He's a power. To me, he's a power forward. He's not a. You can't be a point guard and be that bad of a shooter. It just doesn't exist.
I don't even think he's like that terrible at it. He just refuses to do it, right?
Which then makes you a bad shooter.
Yeah.
Like you like what does that say? You can't miss the shots you don't take. Whatever. Like that alone.
Well,
think about
of the shots you don't take.
Like Andre Robertson on OKC, there will be times he's wide open and just didn't shoot it because he knows he's not a good shooter. So I mean, it just becomes a mental thing. So like it just, and again that also goes into the whole spacing where they will leave Ben Simmons wide open. He's not going to shoot it, so it just ruins things for Randall. So that's why, like, I think what happens is that if you're the primary ball handler and they're just backing off you, daring you to shoot, it defeats the person you being the primary ball handler. But if you make him a power forward, since he has the height to do it, he's off the ball, he's cutting to the basket, he's doing more work at the basket, he's not working at the 3.
Nice. Let's go, Fournier.
I think Ben Simmons would be a lot more effective. Like where Ben Simmons would be excellent is in a Draymond Green role, like with Golden State, where he has a bunch of shooters that he could set up and he could play by the basket, let Curry play, spread the floor. Like that'd be a good role for Ben Simmons. But as a traditional point guard, that's not it.
I don't know. I don't see. Like, I just don't see it. I don't know.
It'd be nice if the Nets could trade Kyrie, let him be in Pennsylvania, and let Ben Simmons come here.
I don't know. I don't even like.
Because Ben Simmons could fit because Durant could shoot, Harden could shoot, so you have shooters around him, so he could be by the basket.
DeAndre and
Well, DeAndre's with the Lakers now, so.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was like, wait a minute, how'd you get there? He kind of like snuck over there. But I have Nicholas Claxton, who's basically a younger DeAndre who can't shoot either. So it's basically like slamming a center that can't
Nicholas
shoot.
Claxton. He has nice hair.
He does. He's very athletic, so he has that going. I mean, like, if he had defense, he could be known as well. Just like a really athletic center.
I mean, that's the talk about getting Carl Anthony Towns an Knicks uniform. That was a thing for like 3 years.
I would love that.
I'd love that. Yeah.
And in New York, like not New York, but like him being from the Northeast. But then the Thibodeau factor, that kind of ruins it.
Yeah.
Brown, it's a big 3 ball. If this game goes to overtime, I don't know. I hope it doesn't get to that, but it's very possible. Look at Jalen Brown pull up from the logo.
What the?
Damn, Jalen Brown.
Are you kidding me right now? Can we get
Is
quickly
this
into
is this the same guy? Did COVID like make Jalen Brown better?
I don't know. It didn't make Michael Conforto better. Like more. Oh yeah, we can't. I haven't been able to use that excuse.
No, forget it. It's too late. He's not even on the team anymore. So what's the point? Can Randall hit the clutch free throws? All right, got one. Yeah, wouldn't you like to have someone else get fouled there? I can't believe that Jalen Brown, 39 points, is the most by a Celtic all-time in a season opener on the same franchise that's had Bill Russell and Larry Bird and Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett and just like a million Hall of Famers. 39 points is the most in a season opener, and Jalen Brown has that record? What? What? That's an insane stat.
Yeah, Larry. That's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing about Larry Bird. People talk about him being like this lights out shooter. He only took like three pointers a game.
Because
like that was
the threes weren't as prevalent there. Oh my God.
What just happened? Oh my God. There is no way. Oh. Fucking Tatum's gonna.
They lost. No. There's no way. There's no.
You gotta be kidding me.
Wide open. Kemba Walker just falls asleep.
Oh, God. You gotta be kidding me, man. Spike Lee. Oh my God. I don't even want to watch overtime on here. Might have to hop off after that. I'm depressed. Fucking Tatum fell down. What are you double teaming a guy that fell down?
And then Kemba got confused.
Marcus Smart, ice in his veins. Unbelievable. You have to be kidding me right now.
Not a good debut for Kemba, for sure.
Not a good one.
Like I joked, Brad Stevens, first move as being in the front office, get rid of Kemba. Just get rid of him.
Oh, unreal. You gotta be kidding me.
Wow. I mean, like, I can, but, like, I can't.
Unbelievable.
I mean, what are the chances that, like, Jalen Brown's going to hit from the logo, and then you just got Marcus Smart wide open, and the two crucial turnovers.
That's bad.
That is wow.
It's really bad.
Yeah, and now, like, when it comes to overtime, you really need to have smart possessions. And we talked about, like, smart possessions now the Knicks do. And I could see Boston getting so many better good looks. And the fact that Jaylen Brown's on fire right now and now Marcus Smart has momentum going, like, it just equals a good Boston overtime.
God.
Holy moly.
From the logo, man. From the logo.
Irish Gorilla, what is up? What is on your mind? I mean, did you just watch this Knicks debacle, or are you focused on the Dodgers Braves playoff game? Holy moly.
You have to be kidding me. Wow. Well, that wasn't fun.
Where is Hayden? Hayden was here earlier. He was here for like an hour, but then he had to go. But Hayden was here earlier in the stream. So once the stream was over, Irish Gorilla, you could watch it from the beginning. You could see Hayden was on here, Elias, Andrew. See, we talked a lot of Mets earlier in the show, but now we're more focused on the basketball. But if you want to talk, we'll go back to the Mets, we can, because the Knicks are pretty depressing at this very moment in time.
Teddy Bridgewater got hurt
again. How did he get hurt at this time?
I don't know. Probably some dumbass linebacker on the Raiders probably stepped on his foot or something. Oh my god.
Boston's hit a 3 already? Dude, overtime just started. Chill out.
Oh my god.
Fournier? Oh, baby. Mets need change. Yes, the Mets do need change. They need change. Obviously, they're going to get a new president of baseball operations, going to get a new manager, probably going to get some new
of course
players.
the 3 was from Jaylen Brown.
So the Mets will change. And he's just going to add to his Celtics season opener record. Which I still can't believe that, like, Bill Russell or, I don't know, Bob Cousy or Sam Jones or Evan Fournier is kind of fire right now.
Woo!
Evan Fournier is feeling hot.
What?
Can Evan Fournier carry the Knicks to an overtime victory? Gotta get some defensive stops, though. I mean, Evan Fournier can't hit every shot, every possession. Gotta see some defense here. For a team, listen, the Knicks' strength is defense. They can't be giving up over 120 points to the Celtics. That just can't happen. I mean, I'm granted Jaylen Brown is on fire right now, and nobody can guard him. If he's pulling up for the logo while defending, like the guy.
Fournier, what the hell?
But still.
What is going on?
The Fournier, does Fournier have the ice? Jaylen Brown at the free throw line. What's new? Oh, misses one. Okay, there we go. All right. Mitchell Robinson coming back and taking Obi Toppin out. Okay. All right. I still can't believe like Derrick Rose hasn't gotten in here at any point, like at all. Like, really? Now Jaylen Brown is going for a career high if he makes his next free throw. And a new career high for Jaylen Brown, 43 points. Wow. How about that?
40. Oh, God.
All right. Going back to Fournier, another 3. Got it. Oh, did they call offensive foul? No. Wow. Evan Fournier's on fire right now. What? Dang. Just got to stop. And again, like, these are not good shots Fournier's taking. He's kind of just making them. They're literally just saying, Fournier, take the ball and shoot a 3. Like, these aren't even open.
Off the screen. Is he going off the screen?
Who's that? Marcus Smart answering with a wide open 3, of course. Where's the defense on this team? I'm surprised Tibbs hasn't, like, fainted by now, all this terrible defense.
Wow, they didn't call a foul.
Now Fournier's posting up Schroeder, I should say. Barrett contested 3. Yes! What? Uh-oh. We got a little bit of a shootout right now. Everybody's just running in 3.
Whoa.
What is going on here?
What the hell?
Now Grant Williams for 3? Yes. Okay. All right, we're just going to trade 3s. Why not? Good old shootout on opening night in overtime. Okay. Everybody's just hitting 3s. Why not? Might as well bring in Alfred Payton.
RJ.
Fournier fading away. No, that's not a good shot. But see, like, this is the difference. Fournier's taking fadeaway 3s. Barrett's contested. But Marcus Smart's shot was wide open. Grant Williams' shot was wide open, and now the Knicks are double teaming, so Jaylen Brown has another open player in the corner. Now Jason Tatum's wide open. Now Jaylen Brown's wide. Like, everybody's just open on Boston, you know?
I don't know. Can Tibbs call a timeout, please? Like, that'd be
That
nice.
would be a good idea, but no. Now Julius
Can
Randle
he
is
scream
dribbling
it,
it
though?
up. Fournier
What is
screen.
he? Fournier, what are you doing?
That was not a screen by any means. That wasn't even a screen. What was it? That was terrible. Yeah, oh my no. Knicks need a point guard, man. This is not offense. Like, this is random jump shots. Like, I feel like I'm watching Russell Westbrook, right? Like, just like random jump shots. There's just nothing. There's nothing. There's no ball movement. There's no player movement. There's no screens. Like, there's nothing. Just shooting threes. Just random threes. So, like, at least Boston's moving the ball around and finding the open shooter. Like, the Knicks are kind of just
RJ, no. RJ.
Made them open? No.
How have they not called a timeout yet?
I really don't get it. I don't.
They're
If he's
gassed.
alive,
They're gassed.
you would think. Now there goes Julius Randle, isolation. Fournier wide open, makes a sandwich and misses. Oh my god! He makes the ones contested, but he can't hit the wide open one. And now everybody's gone cold at this point. We're from trading threes to trading misses. So Boston calls a timeout. At least they have a clue with what's going on. Holy moly. What a crazy overtime. What, are we going to get double overtime now? Could you handle a double overtime?
What the fuck?
This is a crazy game right now.
This really is insanity. If this goes into second overtime, we might have to stop the stream here because I
wasn't expecting it to go this way. I thought I was thinking, baseball watch logs could take a while, but basketball watch long won't be that long, 2.5 hours max. All of a sudden going to double overtime and a lot of madness. I was not expecting this.
Oh my god.
What a crazy game. I'll tell you what, it's only the first of 82, so it's going to be quite a season.
Yeah. Why not?
Look at Fournier being a leader in the timeout. Okay. 29 points. Good shooting percentage. 4 steals at Fournier. I didn't even realize that. 4 steals.
Fournier.
Yeah, man. Phil, what do you think? Diaz?
I agree. Too many blown saves.
Right.
I agree too.
ERA is not good enough.
No, I don't like it either.
Jaylen Brown's also shooting an amazing percentage, 15 of 25. 43 points on 25 shots is really good. You want to talk about efficiency? That's
hell yeah. Fournier has 29 points. He can't be the number 2 scorer. Can't happen.
Reggie Bullock would never, though, so at least that's an upgrade. That was the most points Bullock had in a game last year. Did he even have 20 at any point? Oh my god, wide open shooter. No. Can we run? What happens to the transition? The Knicks are just slowing down, walking the ball.
Can we only do that? I guess we can only do that with Toppin on the floor. Only do that with Toppin on the floor.
But still, the team is young. Let Mitch run. Let Barrett run. Let Randall.
RJ can be in the outlet, yeah.
You got to change up. You can't. They're just literally just holding the ball, and Randall jacks up a random 3 and bricks it. There's just nothing offensively.
I think they're just gassed.
If they could just make Tibbs a defensive coordinator, that would be his job because there is just.
I think they're just. To be honest, I'm going to tell you right now. I think he's just gassed. To be honest, I think they just want this game over with.
Double overtime. Nah, we're done. We're done here.
Fuck.
Yeah, if Lugo could get to his best self, and if somehow Diaz does start struggling, Lugo could be the closer again. But that's 2 ifs. We're kind of on Lugo being really good again.
I'm just
Diaz
done with the closer role in general.
So if it gets to that, then yes. And speaking of closer role, if Raisel Iglesias is one to come in and every now and then get a save, but also be a guy that pitches in the 7th inning, in the 8th inning, then yes, Raisel Iglesias would be a really nice addition. but he might want a closer role. So if he does, then the Mets can't get him. And again, very similar last year, we talked about present baseball operations, but Mets can't get air relievers because they all want the closer role. So I hope this offseason is not that similar to last offseason where the Mets really couldn't get who they wanted and they had to settle because of whatever reason. Whether they didn't want to be in New York, or they didn't want to work for Sandy, or they wanted a closer role. It was always the excuse why the Mets couldn't get the number one option for whatever.
It just doesn't seem like they ever get their first choice. Let's be real. I mean,
Yeah, Logo didn't have a good ERA this year. I mean, this
Logo
was a bad year for Lugo, but I mean, he did close in 19. He was good in 20. So again, if Lugo is healthy and pitching like the pitcher is capable of, if he does have a good ERA again, then yes, he can. Yeah, no, Lugo was not good this year. I agree with you. I'm in full agreement. This was not a good year for Lugo. It was probably his worst year as a reliever. And you know, he had the elbow surgery. So. A lot of pitchers struggled this year with the whole 60-game season, changing up the inning, workload, and then I know like Lugo started some games last year, so I mean I don't know.
I thought he was talking about Jerry West for a second.
Make Lugo the new logo for the NBA.
Jerry West.
All right, guys. So if there are no more questions, we're probably gonna head out because this game is pretty draining. So, but thank you everyone for tuning in. The people that called in, thank you. We definitely could do more call-in. So I appreciate that. Appreciate a Mets fan for sending this up, being on the whole time. And Lugo could be a closer for Diaz needs a day off. He's always a sentiment. Yeah, I mean, you always could have Lugo get some saves because Diaz isn't going to get all the saves. He does need some day offs. Gio, didn't you leave already? But I appreciate you coming back. Thank you, Gio. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. No Mets Weekly tomorrow. We'll be back next week. The other guys might make some content between here and now. If there's anything big that happens, obviously there'll be content from everybody. So thank you so much for watching. Let's go Knicks. Win it in double overtime. And Mets get a president of baseball operations or a manager or something.